And welcome back to another Barnhill Brothers live stream.
Yo.
We got some people in the chat already. We got Glenn in here and Joey. What's up? Hope y'all are both having a great night. Let me refresh here on my computer just to make sure that we are actually live and that everything is running smooth. Let us know if you're hearing us clearly. Let us know where you're watching from. Thanks for being here tonight. Nick, it's a Conor McGregor fight night.
Man, I almost felt like we were never going to actually get this opportunity. Live streaming a Conor McGregor card.
Yeah.
There was so much edging going on, right? A few years ago, we thought we were going to get Chandler. That never ended up happening. And then a lot of people wrote Conor McGregor's return off entirely. And, man, it just feels like this summer has been red hot. But, I mean, this is going to be the hottest night of the summer for the UFC. And it's been a historic summer as is with the Freedom 250 and everything, but this fight card feels special. And I just have to say, after a few fights, I mean, we've got to the early prelims, the main prelims, we're about to hit the main card, and there's been a whole lot of finishes, so the finishing energy is certainly in the T-Mobile Arena.
Well, we're starting with a Terrence McKinney fight, right, with Bobby Green, so you know there's going to be fireworks out of the gate. Sean Baller, what is up, my friend?
Yo.
We got Drizzy Goat. What's up, suckers? What is up with you, my friend? How are you? Glenn, thanks for that. You can hear us loud and clear, and you're watching from Vegas, man. You should be able to hear the roars from the arena.
Hopefully the sphere doesn't take off and roll into the desert because it's about to be roaring out there in Vegas. I heard there's no hotel rooms available in Vegas right now.
So a couple of things. One, I heard that it's the biggest gate in UFC history, just a hair over 25 million. I did hear that there's no hotel rooms available, as you just said. And what the heck was the third thing? Oh, that Paramount said that the numbers are tracking for this to be bigger than the White House card. And we all know how big the White House card was. So we're dialed in for what should be a pretty historic night in the UFC. Yeah, turn that down a little bit so we're not coming through the audio here. We got somebody watching Spoon of Concussiousness, 2 a.m. in London. Let's go. I always say this. You European fans are the real MVPs. Like, we whine when it's like a 6 a.m. card here. If there's like an Asian card, if I'm getting up and live streaming it, I'm like, I can't believe I got to get up, Nick, at 5:45 and do this. But then I remember you guys, and I'm like, yep. There's no excuse for me. I got to get up and do the damn thing.
And the UK fans seem so loud and energetic that it makes me want to go to an event in London or any of the big cities out there just to show up, because Dana always talks about it. He's like, when you bring a card over to the UK, it just gets electric.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few players on the bucket list that I want to see. I've never been to T-Mobile Arena.
It was MGM Grand when we were there.
Last time we were there was Silva versus Nick. That shows you how back it was. Your 21st birthday, coincidentally.
That's right.
And that was at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Good memory there. The T-Mobile was not even, it was being built, I think. We saw it under construction. But
the Golden Knights had not come to town just yet.
Not yet. I have not been there. I'd love to go. Another place is any event in the UK. I feel like the UK crowds are just something else as far as
Madison Square Garden's another one I'd love to go to for a UFC event. And then also anything over in the UAE. I feel like those would be pretty cool, unique events.
Thank you so much, Spoon. He says, started watching your channel a few months ago, and you guys are killing it. Big love. And yes, come to London for an event. Oops, I lost it for a second.
We'll have to do like a meet and greet or something in London, or not a meet and greet, but one of those things like after the ceremonial weigh-ins, go pick a nice English pub and then do like a live Barnhill Brothers show from there immediately following the ceremonials. Maybe talk about who the locks are and whatnot.
For sure. Yeah. And we definitely want to come to London for a card. And we got Moneyball in the chat here. I see Moneyball. Thank you so much.
Let's go. Thank you, Moneyball.
Hey, friends, this card is amazing. I don't want it to end. Same W's in the chat for Moneyball. If you guys haven't already, check out her.
And you also have a prediction video from the other night. The live stream just on Thursday was pretty solid. I have a feeling that you guys are both doing pretty well with some of the picks so far.
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty happy with the picks so far that I've made. So I've got Terrence McKinney in this one. Did you take Terrence as well?
Me?
Yeah.
I got Terrence winning this one. You know, I like Bobby Green, and there's certainly ways he can win this fight, especially if he can drag Terrence out of the first 2 minutes. But like I said, I used to spar with Terrence when he was down in Houston, and even on flow rounds, like it's not that he doesn't know how to control himself; he certainly does. But even his light shots have some heat and some power behind them, so he can certainly catch a grizzled vet like Bobby Green early, especially with his hands down. Like I said, those bandana shorts need pockets in them because that's where he'd probably keep his gloves if he had the option. But Terrence just hits hard, and he knows how to find his target. He's one of those guys that isn't overly cautious to enter the fire zone, right?
Yeah.
Enter into an exchange. And when you have that, yes, you do run the risk of running into some shots, but as long as you're throwing two, you have a very good chance with a lot of power to even that exchange. And Terrence McKinney has proven time and time again that all it takes is one good exchange at the beginning of the fight for him to get his hand raised. So I think that Bobby's durability is going to be in question. I think that if Terrence comes out there and, looks good, I know people are talking about the weight cut being too much. I don't think it's the case. I think he'll be refreshed and bounce back. He's not like one of the biggest 55ers, right? He's a solid size 55er, but I don't think he's like too big where he needs to be going to 170. I just think maybe the cut was a little off. But I think his durability will help him through that first few minutes. And I think if Bobby Green can't get out of those, then, of course, the fight goes Terrence's way.
Yeah, I mean, Terrence McKinney is kind of the guy that wins in the first round or loses in the first round, right? And I never got the pleasure of sparring with him. I know you have many times, but as you said, the intensity that he brings is just something else. And one of the cool things I love about Terrence's training camp now, I mean, I wish he was still here in Texas. That would be cool, but he's since moved to Florida. And you were saying that, or not you, I was actually watching on Embedded, that, they play his walkout music. The other fighters make like basically a tunnel for him to walk through. They cheer for him. Yeah. They dap him up. And, they make it like a real fight feel. And he's been training in that intensity. I love King Green. King's getting older. He's almost 40. It's going to be a tough fight. And the thing about it, when you think about when Bobby loses, right? Think about Mauricio Rufy. Think about Patty Pimblett.
Sure.
These are people that come with a pace, with an intensity that walk you down and put your back against the cage.
Right.
When Bobby can be in the center of the octagon and get in his rhythm and drop his hands and feint and all that, that's when he really starts to have his success.
Sure.
But, I know a fighter who likes to come out of the gate and push people to the back of the fence, and that's Terrence McKinney.
That's right. Yeah, and like I said, King Green is evasive. He's pretty good with his head movement. And if I were his coach, I'd be sweating and sitting on the edge of my seat because I'm like, dude, please, for the love of God, put your hands up. But he seems to get his head out of the way. And here's the thing. This is what everybody should watch out for from Terrence McKinney. Bobby Green loves to dip. And generally when you're like doing over-exaggerated slips like you would see in boxing, it's risky because people like to kick. Now, Terrence mostly gets the work done with his hands.
Yeah.
But he can kick well. And, obviously he's got a good coach. He's got a good team behind him. And I think they could probably set up some sort of nice head kick for when Bobby starts dipping really far down to one side or the other.
Yeah.
And obviously you throw or land one of those, it'll make Bobby stop moving so much. And then you take away some of that drastic head movement that he's known for. And now you've got a stationary target, a head not moving off center line, throw the heavy hands. Terrence got to trust his power, and I think he can get this one done in one.
There we go. Just a quick shout out, a few more people in the chat. Elton, thank you for joining, my friend. Appreciate you being here. And there he is. Yes, I thought I saw him pop in with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yo, 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 yo. Base Volkanovski enjoyer. Thank you for coming in, my
legend.
Friend. You're a legend. We appreciate y'all being here. Sean Baller says, real talk, Beard Green is more reactive than proactive, if I'm hearing you correct. Yeah. I mean, I think if you come in and you put the pressure on Bobby, you can find your spots, you can find your finishes. When Bobby can get in the center and start to feint and work his rhythm and his timing and start to talk that smack to you, that's where he thrives. I think smothering Bobby is the way to beat him. That's Patty proved that. And Rufy proved that. And so I think that Terrence McKinney is going to, that's tailor-made for his style, right, Nick?
Yeah, and it's funny because Terrence almost like gets so excited that you'll see a smile on his face as the fight's going on, right? He just loves to be in the fire. And a guy like Bobby Green can set traps, no doubt. He can make this fight interesting. He can use his bike and stay on the perimeter and drag Terrence into a few more minutes of the first round. But eventually they are going to wind up within striking range of one another, and they're going to have to start throwing. And I have a feeling there's a little bit of ego involved in this fight, right?
Yeah.
It feels like King Green feels to me that he was disrespected by the younger, but Unc was disrespected by nephew.
Don't disrespect. It's Unc season, man.
Unc.
If 2026 is anything, it's Unc season. So
yeah, and upset season.
Now,
right?
I will say before we get into, because I feel like tonight's just going to fly by and there's going to be so much to comment on and talk about, that I think we should slow the roll just a touch before this first fight and talk about a couple of things. The final two things on the prelims, which was the debut of the now 4-0 Gable Steveson.
Yeah.
And then Robert Whitaker's move up to 205.
Okay.
Let's go Gable first. What were your thoughts on Steveson?
Well, the result doesn't really surprise anyone. I think the composure of Gable is what was even more impressive, because he's a guy who has so much pressure on him, having John Jones as your mentor, coming in from one of the most decorated gyms and teams in the entire sport, being an Olympic gold medalist, having all of this, all of the attention and eyeballs on you. And there is no margin for error for Gable Steveson. He can't go out there and win a decision that's close and neck with a guy like Elijah Ellison.
When he's a minus 4,000 favorite.
Everybody is expecting him to go out there and steamroll every human alive, aside from his mentor, John Jones, who he will never fight. But it's crazy that all of that pressure, right? You get to the UFC and you're like, all right, come hell or high water, I just got to get this win.
Yeah.
And Gable Steveson is not playing that game. He's playing the game where I have to go have flawless victories or my stock is going to drop. And that's what I find most interesting about Gable. He was able to show us, without really any wrestling, a little bit of clinch work, a little bit of, cage wrestling, if you will. But for the most part, that was a striking match. We saw some vintage John Jones moves, the oblique kick, the push to the top of the knee, the thigh area was real nice. Beautiful stabbing pushes and teep kicks up to the middle, hitting the torso of Elijah Ellison, dropping the guard a little bit. I thought that was impressive. Also, not afraid to throw some elbows and some inside dirty boxing inside the clinch. So I thought that Gable Steveson showing us basically the art of 8 limbs was the last thing anybody was expecting. And he still got a first-round finish, which everybody was expecting. But I don't think they were necessarily seeing him doing it by using Muay Thai weapons, if you will.
Sean Baller said it perfectly here. Steveson was slow for me. He's not ready, in my opinion, for top 15. Now, this is...
Am I right?
I wouldn't say he was necessarily slow, but I think he got hit far too many times by a guy who was as big of an underdog as Elijah Ellison and who's 5-2 in his pro MMA career, right?
Yeah.
No disrespect to Ellison. He showed up and he did his best, but he landed some shots. He actually defended a takedown, which was perhaps the biggest surprise to me, was that we saw Ellison defend a takedown of Gable Stevenson's. And
he also had Gable do a super sprawl.
He did. Yeah.
He shot he feinted a takedown, and it had Gable Steveson more than ready to sprawl on it. I don't predict for you that if he would have committed to that takedown attempt, he would have gotten it, based off of how well Gable was able to defend. But it was at least interesting to see him try to mix it up with the Olympic world champion.
Yeah. And, we've obviously Elisha Ellison's no Merab Dvalishvili, but we've seen Olympic gold medalists and Henry Cejudo be taken down inside of the UFC before. So it wouldn't be unheard of for something like that to happen. But Gable, to me, he looked great. I mean, he won in the first round, and the exuding confidence is something else. I mean, this guy has no fear, zero jitters.
Yeah.
A lot of people enter the UFC, they're a little bit nervous. He went out there and he said to DC, I think it was after the fight, wait till you see me shoot. And, he did shoot once and the takedown didn't happen, but we saw somebody who was so hungry and eager for the finish that we saw him get a little bit reckless sometimes, chase a little bit sometimes, got hit perhaps with some shots that he shouldn't have gotten hit with, and we're not comparing him to the next step up from Elisha Ellison, because Gable Steveson is perhaps the biggest blue chip prospect in the history of the sport.
Right.
We're comparing him to Alexander Volkov, to Josh Hokett, to Cyril Gahn, to Tom Aspinall.
Sure.
And so when you measure him on that criteria, do I think he could probably compete with the top 10 to 15 right now and win? Yeah, I do. I actually do. But when you start to get inside that top 10 fighting the way he fought tonight, it gets a little dicey. You know, a Derek Lewis, dare I even say, you know, we know how Derek is on some tough times right now, but you started to get cracked by shots from Elisha Ellison. You go in there reckless like that against somebody like Derek, against a salsa boy, against anybody who's got heavy hands and a little bit more experience than Ellison.
Even a Curtis Blades.
Yeah, you could run in. Curtis might actually be a really, really difficult early matchup for Gable because Curtis can wrestle.
Yep.
So
I thought that was impressive. I don't think that Gable's chances after the impressive first round finish we just saw have gone down at all. I think it just made everybody manage their expectations. All right, he's not ready to be world champion tomorrow. He doesn't need to book Tom Aspinall next, but give him about 3 or 4 fights to learn on the job, fight through the UFC, stay super active, gain your experience. Hopefully he can get a few minutes in one of these fights. You know, he's got about a grand total of 5 minutes and 4 total fights as a pro. So he's not spending a whole lot of time in the octagon, but he is gaining knowledge and experience. And I think as long as he can fight smart and utilize his wrestling and the ability to land heavy shots on people to gain respect and get people scared to exchange with him, I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah. And Sean, I agree with, I'm reading through your comments. I agree pretty much with everything you said. So Sean, critical of the head movement. That's what we said when we were watching. We said, you know, he's coming in, he's throwing heavy, he's pressuring forward, he's doing good things, but he's not taking his head off the center line at all. So good read on that. A little bit more disciplined. Absolutely. And Elisha is also chinny. Now, Elisha, to his credit, he ate some shots in there tonight, some big knees, some stuff like that. I'm with you. I'm not ready to anoint Gable yet as the future GOAT of the heavyweight division, like a lot of people were ready to do prior to tonight. But I saw some things that show, and here's the other thing: at 26 years old, he's a good 4 to 6 years away from his heavyweight prime, because we know heavyweight prime pretty much starts in your early 30s. So he's a long way away from actually being in his prime. I think the biggest thing that can happen negative, Nick, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, is the UFC to go the Aaron Pico route with Gable and go ahead and book him versus Curtis Blades for his next fight, or a Josh Hokett or somebody like that, to try to fast track him, and he gets knocked out, right? And then he comes back and his confidence is not so great and he gets knocked out again, right? That's what happened to Aaron Pico. And then his career has been kind of back and forth. So,
but he is a better competitor than Aaron Pico. And I think I don't think they're going to give him 4 fights or 5 before he's fighting for a world title, but probably 3. I think 3
more from now.
I think he will be ranked next week.
Okay. So how do you run this? So somebody in the top 15, say 12 to 15.
Yep.
Let's say he wins that. Then you go what?
Top 10.
7 to 11. 7 to 2. And then you go to a
top 5.
To a title eliminator? Okay.
To a top 5. And
do you think that's too fast?
No. Well, I think that Gable is like living in fast forward, right? He's 26 years old, Olympic gold medalist, played in the NFL after never playing football, did WWE. I just said he's 26 years old. Yeah. And he also said he's never played baseball before, but he likes the idea of going to the MLB. And who the hell am I to say he can't make it if he's done those 3 things already? And now he's in the UFC. I don't think he's here for the longest time. Even though he's 26 years old, I don't see him fighting for a decade. I see him spending about 5-6 years getting to a title, trying to make a really impressive run, and then getting out and doing something else weird. It's almost like the biggest stages in the world are his side quests.
Well, there you go.
And so I think Gable is going to want to fast track a little bit. I think as long as he's got John Jones is back there, they're going to watch that fight together, and he's going to tell him exactly what he needs to know off of that. All right, let's be a little bit more patient on this. Let's, utilize some feints after those live rounds get thrown. Once you do that, you'll have them biting on every little feint that you show them. And not only will the wrestling open up, but the striking will too. And I think Gable is smart enough to understand that while his wrestling is above and beyond everybody in the UFC, the thing we all want to watch is striking and high-level knockouts, and he wants to be able to deliver that so he can, facilitate this, generational run up the heavyweight division. So I think that Gable is going to keep looking for knockouts. I think he's going to keep finding them, and if he's able to do that, and the only thing that we're waiting to see him bring into world title fights or bring into title eliminators is the wrestling, then
we know he can do that.
Everybody's going to be in some serious trouble.
Real quick, OG Grinder, thank you for being here. Green or McKinney, we just must have been right before you jumped on. We both have Terrence McKinney. I have him by finishing the first round. Did you do the
And
same?
Speaking of which, it's the tail of the tape. So Terrence McKinney, I got him winning this one. Round one, I think this one's going to go get pretty crazy pretty early. Bobby Green's always down to exchange, and Terrence McKinney looks to get it going as soon as the first bell rings. So I'm going to assume that this fight's going to be done in less than 5 minutes. I did take Terrence, but that's part bias because I'm friends with him. I've trained with him. I've sparred with him. He's the nicest guy ever. So friendly. And so I hope good things happen to good people, and Terrence is a good guy.
Thanks for the bias disclosure, bro. We try to do our best on this channel. We get grilled for picking Derek Lewis at times, but it's like, listen,
every time.
We're Houstonians. We know Derek. We're going to pick him, but we always try to let you guys know when there's a tinge of bias. Speaking of John Jones, we got him in the chat. John Jones is 12-6 elbow.
Johnny Me.
He said, I once had an 8-leg parlay, an octopus, if you will. But did the parlay hit? That's the big question, my man. Did the parlay hit?
Oh man, one of my friends, Max, I think I've mentioned this on an episode before. He had like an entire UFC card, and I think he had baseball. It was like a 13-leg parlay.
Who was this now?
Max from the Main Street.
Okay,
great guy, nice guy, and it was like $100 to win like 13,000 or something ridiculous like that, or maybe $10 to win 13. It was something ridiculous. And he hit the baseball. He hit every single early prelim, every single thing on the main event, on the main card. And then it was I know it was Alex Pereira fighting. I think it was Magomed Ankalaev, and he lost. He lost it. He should have jumped out after 12 wins in a row.
That's what we call getting greedy, my friend. Okay, so I'm being told that was from a commercial. And then John Jones followed it up with, let's just say omelets are on me. Hey, I don't know what time zone you're on, my friend, but maybe tomorrow morning I'll take you up on the omelet.
But I love an omelet.
All right, guys. So we are going to lock in and call this fight for you. Time clock should be going up.
Bobby Green and Terrence McKinney are live right now.
All right. Time clock up.
4:58, 4:57, 4:56, 4:55. Terrence is already pressing the pace up, going for a hook. Basically a 3-2. Bobby's hands are down. Would be in his pockets if they existed. And we're already into a grappling exchange. Who would have thought?
Terrence will wrestle up from here. Bobby with the...
And a lot of people don't know this because it's not shown in Terrence's fight style all that often, but he actually wrestled in college. He's a very solid wrestler.
Yeah. And he actually... Michael Chiesa was one of his early coaches and mentors. But this is exactly why I have Terrence in this one, because I think Bobby does have trouble when he gets super heavy pressure forward fighters.
Yeah.
And Terrence is, if he's anything, he's that.
Yeah.
And, well, Bobby's face is already busted up.
Yep. Terrence got him right where he wants him. He's biting in on all this stuff. And Bobby's doing, what he always does, moving his head a lot. But once the combination starts, his feet sort of stay there and his head does all the movement. A lot of people don't really think about this, but you can't exactly have great footwork and head movement at the exact same time. Right? If you're moving your feet, your torso and body has to sort of stay centered. It's all about balance, right? Counterbalance. So when you're moving your head a lot, your feet sort of stay stationary. And when you're moving your feet a lot, your body sort of stays stationary. And so Terrence McKinney is extending his combinations once he realizes Bobby has committed to planting his feet and moving his head.
And that, the hands down, movement works when you've got octagon and real estate behind you to do it. But Terrence is smothering him right now, and Bobby's still in the pocket, which is why we see Bobby with both eyes busted up at this point.
Right.
Now, the thing that
beautiful uppercut that he keeps throwing off of Bobby's too.
The thing Terrence needs to be careful with here is gassing himself out, because Bobby's a vet. And if Bobby could very well still be there come rounds 2, come rounds 3, and you know, we know Terrence is a first round guy, but he does need to keep some reserves. He's doing really, really good halfway through this first round in winning all these moments, and he's definitely winning the fight, but he's got to make sure that he doesn't completely go for broke.
Beautiful takedown.
Timed on the level change there by McKinney.
And you can see that little smile on his face, the trademark Terrence McKinney smile as he's throwing punches and bloodying up his opponent's face. He's at home inside that octagon.
There's very few people that just truly enjoy. Bobby's doing some talking. We can't hear what he's saying. But, yeah, this is a really, really solid performance by McKinney so far.
He's basically got him in a mount position. You know, I won't call it full mount yet just because Bobby's turned to his side and he's still sitting on top of the hips, but damn near full mount up against the cage with Bobby giving no.
Bobby's actually turning his back completely. This could be over here soon.
Yep.
Big shots.
Great shots from McKinney. If you had Terrence winning by round one, I think you're in a good spot. He's in the driver's seat right now. Bobby Green is looking for a way out, but there is virtually no options for him right now. He's looking for a way to create some space, not finding it. Terrence is riding the wave quite well. Now he's got a hook in, which is beautiful if Bobby does get to like a push-up position, try his best to get up. There you go. Now the other hook's in.
Oh, beautiful sink into the –
all right, he lost it.
Thought Terrence had that rear naked choke for a second.
He's going for not quite a body lock, but I think that's where he's aiming for it. He's got his feet crossed, but I don't think he's in any danger from that.
Bobby throwing some shots, but he should be more focused with a minute left in the round on just getting it up and getting to a better position. Because
agreed,
those shots from, you know, hitting somebody directly behind you, I never was a big fan of those. I mean, yeah, you can touch their face, and I suppose maybe you could open up a cut or something, but you're not going to do a tremendous amount of damage. There's no way you can generate enough force to do so.
I call that like a last ditch effort. You know, sometimes if somebody has you dead to rights and you do somehow have a hand free, it can be advantageous to start to punch them. I don't ever advise it as the first, you know, plan of attack, but if somebody's got you like this and you have the ability to punch them, that can help create a little bit of space, which can open up a scrambling opportunity just like that. And Bobby Green's right back on his feet now with Terrence's back up against the cage. Bobby's obviously going to want to chunk heavy for the last 30 seconds of this round. Oh, he just walked right into an uppercut.
But I'd like to see Terrence get off the – there we go. Yeah.
I've been hit by that same uppercut.
Wasn't no fun,
yeah, it wasn't no fun.
Bobby's a tough guy, man. So this is where – Bobby drops Terrence with a body shot. Terrence is covered up.
5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time.
Oh! Murgliata calls the fight
was that Dan
off.
Murgliata? I don't think it was.
Well, whoever it was. Yeah. So that's 4-minute, 59-second knockout for King Green. Goodness gracious.
What was the shot that took Terrence out?
It was a body shot.
It was the right side, whatever.
He dropped him with a nasty body shot. Wow. Man, Terrence really cannot get out of the first round, can he?
No, even with 0 time left on the clock.
He either finishes you in the first or he gets finished. I've never seen anything like it.
Unk season continues through the summer of 2026.
Goodness gracious.
Chris
just said he's ready to just go ahead and call Conor McGregor winning the main event after that.
Go ahead and lock Ian Gary in for UFC 330.
Wow.
He's talking with the cut man Tate. Well, you know, Terrence, it almost feels like the referee needed to be on his P's and Q's because Terrence looks fine to continue a second round right now.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
And
was it Murgliata? Was it Murgliata?
I think it was a different guy. I don't think it was Dan.
I just saw the bald head. Maybe it's Chris Tione or
it could be.
But let's see here.
Oh no, it's that other guy. I don't know his name.
Okay, let's see. What was the shot that put him down? Kick to the body.
Was that it?
No, I think it's a punch.
Beautiful uppercut
by McKinney. Front hook by Bobby. That wasn't what dropped him. It's a body shot. It's this one right there.
That was it barely touched him.
That's weird.
Could that kick have done the main part of the damage?
It did not seem like that was enough to drop McKinney. McKinney's corner was pleading that there was 1 second left, but nothing doing.
Terry Hadley is the referee.
Terry Hadley. Okay, so yeah.
Hard to say if it's an early stoppage. You know, it's the referees are certainly under watchful eye these days after everything that's been going on. So do you
Would
want
have
to
been
stop
great
the fight?
to see another round. I mean,
Yeah,
Terrence wasn't like unconscious.
right.
Looks like Sean Shelby and the rest of the crew.
The girl in the back
Sean
is
Shelby
shocked.
saying, no, he's out. He's out. No, he wasn't out.
He's not out.
No, at no point in time was Terrence McKinney out. Crazy.
36th pro win for Bobby King Green.
Congrats to Bobby King Green, the almost 40-year-old. Wow. I can't wait to hear what he has to say after this. Man, Terrence had him in that fight. Unbelievable. What'd you guys think? Drop a comment in the chat. Was that an early stoppage? Was it a good stoppage? What do you think it was? I mean, it certainly, the fall coincides with the body shot. So was that what it was? And, again, this is what I was saying. Terrence can't burn through his gas tank, when he's in there with a veteran like King Green, because if he doesn't get him out, he's going to be in a world of trouble. Great hammer, worse nail. Rajesh, you summed it up. Terrence has always been open about not getting out of the first round and not going 3 rounds. Yeah. And I mean, it's proven to be facts. Base Volkanovski, my stream cut out when McKinney was on Green's back, come back and King won. What happened? We're trying to figure that out as well, man. King got back up to his feet. There was some exchanging on the feet. Terrence landed a nice uppercut. King landed a hook. And then Bobby landed a body shot. And it didn't seem like a hard body shot, but it put McKinney down. Let's hear what King says here. Joe saying it started out fast and furious. The front kicks to the body were bothering him. And then put him away with 2 seconds on the clock.
Classic Bobby Green on the mic.
Talking smack like he always does. He was saying little bitch, and punching him in the face from the back. So he's still griping about the fact that Terrence accepted the fight. 4 in a row for Bobby Green. Let's see here. Let's see if he calls somebody out. He wants to fight in September in LA. Bobby Green thanking his Lord and Savior, saying he wants to fight in September, saying that he wants to get together with any black fighters. I guess he doesn't want to fight any black fighters. Is that what you took from that? It's kind of
I think that's
difficult to make that statement, because I mean, heck, it's that's a tough thing to do, right?
Right. It's hard, and you can't really black people need to fight black people, white people have to fight white people. It's just one of those things.
This is one of those things weird to talk about, but it's
how many Brazilians have fought other Brazilians? Like, it's just something you can't avoid. Yeah. So, Alex Pereira's with Joanna Young Jacek. That might be his next Tracy Cortez. See, there goes Charlie Dubronx Oliveira.
All right, let's see here. Good stoppage, even at 1 second. He folded.
And there's the man of the year right there. America's newest superhero, Justin Gaethje, getting a massive pop from the crowd.
That's good, if not for the end of the round. Let's see here. Tasteful Thickness, what's up, my friend? Thanks for popping in.
Yo.
What was that instant fold? That was crazy. Not only gets tired, but just wilts. Yeah, that was, I mean, you never know, right? Because you're not the one feeling the shot. So I hate to say you shouldn't have gone down on that. But, I mean, I'm going to say it at the same time. Doesn't seem like Terrence should have gone down on that.
It looked like it missed him. It looked like it hit his elbow and then slid off. And,
if I move my computer just ever so slightly in, because
I don't see it on your.
I'm straining with my glasses. I want to make sure I can read these comments good enough. Had Bobby in 2. Think Terrence was waiting for the whistle, to be honest, but I'm biased. Says Ducking Murphy. Thank you for joining the live, my friend. Good to have you here. Let's see here.
But yeah, I think Bobby Green, lucky for him, there's not that many black people in the 155 division, so I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think there's some fun fights for him.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely at 40 years
Rafael
old.
Fiziev just had a win.
He could do a BMF something, you know what I mean? Like he's potentially a guy who could be in the running for that. But let's see here. Christopher Clemens, UFC is banned in India, so I cannot watch it live. That sucks. Yes, that does suck, my friend. Hopefully we'll do a good enough job at, calling the play-by-play. I know it won't nearly be the same thing as watching it, but we'll try our best. And it is 7:08 a.m. in Delhi, India right now, Nick, in case you didn't know.
Wow. Well, good morning, my friend.
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for joining us. And we love Indian food. We've never been out there, but
big fans.
Big fans.
At least a couple times a month.
Yeah, we have a great restaurant out here near our house. It's wonderful. Probably a bit Americanized, but great Indian food for our standards. So thanks for joining us. Sorry it's banned out there, and hopefully you can watch some replays and some footage on YouTube or wherever you find your UFC footage after the event has taken place.
Yeah, and I can kind of sympathize and relate with that a little bit because we spent a little bit of time in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And Jamaica is a country, unfortunately, that's known for a lot of scamming. And so there was no pay-per-views of any kind, really. We couldn't get boxing, we couldn't get UFC, anything. And even getting like NFL was kind of hard to get there. And so we had to figure out ways around it and such. And it was a pain, to say the least. So hopefully that can get sorted for you, my friends, so you can watch the fights live. There's nothing like watching the fights live. I mean, there's some sports that you can go back and enjoy the match or the whatever it was competition after the fact. But I feel like fights you go back to watch for tape study, for just to really relive an amazing performance. But the moment never feels the same, right, Nick? It's like if you're watching it live, there's nothing quite like it.
There's nothing quite like it, but the next best thing is the Barnhill Brothers Live. So we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll be sure to call it to the best of our abilities and give you our own little version. So thanks for joining us. And
Corollas, what's up? Thank you for joining the live stream. Appreciate having you here, my friend.
I wonder how fast this main card's going to go because we've seen nothing but finishes this whole entire night.
Well, imagine if Conor got his wish and it was the main event was a 3-rounder like Conor.
He said that was a rumor. They're just rumors.
I don't know about that. It certainly makes sense that Conor would want a 3-round main event.
I'm going to box your ears off with my hands down.
Yeah, we might as well. It looks like that was a quick knockout. Big shout out to Chris, who's just slightly off camera here. He got us these UFC knockout tops cards.
Knockoff.
Yeah, UFC. So, Chris, tell me the story on these.
It's just their set that's coming out right now. You're going to find a lot of patch memorabilia.
Patch memorabilia fight. Okay, cool.
Somebody said Norway lost.
They
guys.
did. Unfortunately, the Viking is out of the tournament.
Oh, man. What are they going to do with all the salmon they sent out to America?
Holland was my favorite character of the tournament.
Yeah,
so.
I'm biased to anybody with a man bun, so I was hoping.
The chase card is the Conor Khabib signing card.
The chase card, apparently, Chris is telling me, is Conor and Khabib signed the same card. So if we pull that, boys, we're going Sizzler. Let's see. We got a Dricus Duplessis.
He's fighting soon.
Right out of the gate. These are thick cards, Chris. Are they supposed to be thicker?
Yeah, they're a little bit.
So I'm going to put them here, and then I'm going to hand them
They've got
to
a real
Chris.
tasteful thickness to them, don't they?
There
Shout
you
out.
go. We got, speaking of, you said that right on cue because we got Mackenzie Dern up next.
Ooh, the thickest of them all. Come on.
Looks like so far, Chris,
I'll be keeping that one.
I don't know what these are base cards look like, but this to me feels like base cards. Okay, so honestly, this gentleman, we all love him. He's not having the best month, but he's on the recovery. Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
It's gonna be bad, but you know what? We ride or die with the Diamond.
Ooh, we got a Conor McGregor, a numbered card of 299. Conor McGregor knockout. Here we go. Very cool. Numbered Conor McGregor card. Now don't scratch this thing up. All right. So now we have ooh, wow, you'll like this one, Nick.
Whoa, they're just
38
like
of 299. autographed and fight worn. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Shorts, it looks like fight worn shorts. We have a auto Valentina Shevchenko.
Ooh, from her fight shorts,
Tier 1 dual relic auto card.
Wow. The scratch and sniff.
Yeah. And we have.
I'm going to touch it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a definitely.
She's got a cool signature.
Yeah, she does.
It says Bullet.
See, Nick's finally warming up to the cards. Nick used to make fun of me and Chris for getting into the cards, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm a grown man. I don't know what a piece of cardboard does." But
Yeah, you can hand it over whenever.
yeah, just put it there. I'll hand him to him. Now we have one of Valentina's foes here, Alexa Grasso. Nothing special about that one. No auto.
That's a museum collection.
No nothing, but that's a museum collection.
Night at the museum. A night at the museum with Alexa Grasso.
And then we've got two people on the same card, UFC Knockout. Is that what we're going for? Jack Della Maddalena, Michael Morales.
Yeah, so that one is the old generation and the new. So that one doesn't really fit, but basically JDM's the old, Morales is the new coming in.
Old gen and new gen. So some pretty good pulls there. I'd say far and away the best pull was this Valentina. Let me find it again. I'll give you guys one more look at it. Yeah. Valentina, 38 of 299, signed, fight worn auto on card autograph. There we go. Here you go, Chris.
Thank you. I got to
Give it to Chris for safekeeping. Let's see here. Base Volkanovski came straight from watching the England game to this. Got to support my country. Yeah, congrats to you, man. I think that, and I mean, listen, me and Nick are. I'm going to say soccer to show you how little I know about football. That's what we call it here in the States. But I've watched several of the games. I didn't really watch many of the round robin games, but once it got to the round of 32 and so on and so forth, I've been watching. And England versus Mexico, to me, was the best game of the tournament I've seen so far. I feel like Mexico was doing everything they could to keep their team, because that game was in Mexico City. 11 minutes of extra time. I don't know. Maybe you know more about this stuff than me, Based, but 11 minutes seemed like a lot of time for Mexico to tie it up there. It seemed like there was some home cooking. Maybe that's just me. But I think England is definitely one of the dark horses, one of the live dogs to win the tournament. Now, I am kind of bummed because I didn't know about this Viking guy, Holland, before this tournament, but he's become my favorite player. So it kind of sucks to see him out of the tournament. But I will be cheering from England to win it from now on. I'll be keeping that one. Didn't go unnoticed, Nick, says Base Volkanovski in reference to the Mackenzie Dern.
Love me some Dern.
Elton says, nah, Barnhill Bros #1, UFC #2. My friend, hey,
let's go.
That is not true, but thanks a million so much, man.
No, it is true.
We're the
here.
real MVP.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't wait for Pantoja to return. I feel like the division is on hold until that happens. Yeah, kind of feels like it. So, I mean, when you have a champion who's one of the better champions we've had in a long time in the division lose the way he lost, it just does feel like there's kind of a cloud until that settles. But, Joshua Van looked really good in his last fight. And maybe this is, again, coming from somebody who lives in Houston, and Joshua Van lives and fights or trains just up the road. Josh is young. Pantoja's not getting any younger. He's 37, almost 38 years old, and coming back from surgery. So if there was ever a time for a changing of the guards, I feel like we could have it. Let's see here. Brandon Royval got this. Says, Ronnie, thank you for being here. So Holland plays for my club's rival, but genuinely seems like a cool guy. Can't hate him too much. Yeah. Who does he play for? I don't know. And Sean Baller asked, do y'all love soccer/football? I've been enjoying the World Cup. But I wouldn't say I love soccer. I don't know. As an American, we really don't get – we're not shown like English Premier League or La Liga or anything like that. We really kind of once every 4 years, a bunch of American people pretend like we know about soccer, and we think that the American team is going all the way, and then we all know how that story ends. But I'd love to know more. It seems like a cool sport.
I think this is coming from the non-soccer fan. I don't dislike any sport, But I've never gotten into soccer. But from the time I was a kid, I was like, why? It just doesn't make sense to me that we can't use our hands. It feels like that was a rule that was made that shouldn't have been made.
The goalie can use his hands.
And everybody else on the field should be able to as well. No, I think that the American football is what we do. And I think they want to grow soccer in America. I think there's a huge market. They just need to have some success in these major world tournaments. And we just don't, our best athletes don't go to soccer. They go to basketball, baseball, football. They don't even go to fighting, which we'd love to see. But even if you're in the MLS, I don't think you're getting paid the same as maybe the NBA or the NFL is getting. So we constantly have great athletes that might end up in soccer. But I feel like the best of the best out of America would just go to Europe to play for a team if they can keep up. So I don't really know. I know we get good players later in their careers to kind of sell tickets and stuff, but I don't keep up with it. I don't keep up with that stuff.
Base Volkanovski said there is a sport called handball where you can do that. So maybe you should check out some handball.
I like Dagestani basketball too, where they like wrestle each other, and Khabib's always running down the court with the ball in his hand like a running back. But no, I do think that if America decided they wanted to start putting their best athletes into soccer from a young age and really started dedicating the same efforts to soccer that we do to basketball, baseball, the big four, that we would be more successful. But
our best athletes don't get funneled into soccer. That's the thing. And
certainly not.
And, we talk about that with MMA too, with the fighter pay and stuff like that, to see it's the reason that we're talking so highly about Gable Steveson, right, is because he's a freak athlete. But Gable Stevenson's athletic ability would be par for the course in the NFL or in the NBA. It's just rare that we see somebody with that level of athleticism enter into the UFC, right? Because they have other avenues to make more money.
I'm not even a fan of LeBron James, but imagine LeBron James playing soccer. I mean, it would almost be like, just send a kick up that could be a header for him. Who's going to jump up and take it out of his?
Well, look at this guy Holland. He's 6'5",
6'5", yeah. So
one of the top goal scorers in the tournament.
Significantly shorter than LeBron James, and I think he's had a pretty good World Cup if I've heard correctly. I haven't watched any of it.
I think he's one, besides Messi, maybe he's one of the top goal scorers. Let's see here real quick. Ronnie, what is that?
Let's go.
Gadricki. Sorry if I messed your last name up. 72-86. 2016, 170 pounds, Conor McGregor versus 2025 champ JDM. Okay, so like a hypothetical. So Conor of basically prime Conor versus last year's Jack Della Maddalena. I'd probably go Conor, to be honest with you. I think that stylistically, that would actually be a pretty good matchup for Conor. The thing would be the weight. You did mention at 170. That's what could skew things in favor of JDM. Drop a comment. Let me know, guys. We can all participate here. It could be some chat participation as well. I'm going prime Conor McGregor over what we'll call prime performance JDM. What say you, Nick?
My opinion is that the game evolves too fast. And even 5 or 10 years removed, there's too many differences in the game. So I think Jack Della Maddalena last year would have beat Conor McGregor if we got Conor from the Conor versus Nate 2, right? That's roughly about when he's talking about. So, obviously Conor was very crafty and a great starter, very powerful. But 170 wasn't exactly the place where he could just find single shot KOs like he did at 45 and 55. Jack Della Maddalena, though he didn't look good in his fight with Carlos Prates, became the world champion off of really good skills and being able to go the distance or being able to get the fight out of there if he needed to. So obviously he had zero success against Islam Makhachev, but the skill set between Islam and Conor couldn't be more different. And I would go with the game evolves too fast. Jack Della Maddalena 1 year ago would have beaten Conor back then at 170. But if they were 2 or 3 years closer in that prime year's time, I would say Conor if he would have kept moving
the
up.
Conor that beat Eddie Alvarez and the JDM that beat Bilal Muhammad.
Okay.
Who are you taking? Yeah, but the fight's at one. If it's a 155, it's Connor all day. But this question was 170 specifically. So
yeah, well, and then again,
I'm still going Connor. I think Connor stylistically Connor had pretty good takedown defense against Khabib. Now Khabib, obviously, we know what happened in that fight. I'm not saying that his takedown defense was otherworldly, but it was decent.
Yeah,
and Jack took down Carlos Prates, but Carlos got right back up.
That would be a closer fight.
I'm going McGregor. I think the McGregor
at 155.
Yeah. And I don't remember. It's been, hell, you have to forgive me. It's been 9 years or 10 years almost. I don't remember exactly what year which fights took place, but I'm going to go the Eddie Alvarez Connor just because that to me was that finishing sequence, that whole performance was
arguably the greatest performance of all time.
One of the best, and it was just the first night ever in Madison Square Garden, first New York City MMA card ever. The way he won, became champ. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are siding with Connor here as well in the chat.
I love Connor. It's just I see the game evolve so fast.
Yeah. But you picked him to win tonight.
Yes.
So what does that tell you?
He said that Max hasn't. He said Max hasn't evolved very much.
Yeah. And so Ducking Murphy, if you're 5'10" to 6'4" in America with good feet, you play a different sport than soccer. Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah, perfectly said.
And you said something about Murphy made me think. For some reason, I thought Lauren Murphy, which took me to Leron Murphy, which then took me to Leon Edwards. And I think a better matchup that I would side with Connor would be champ Leon Edwards versus prime Connor.
All right, guys, if y'all want to lock in with us, this flyweight fight has just started. Good question, by the way, Ronnie. Thank you. That was one that made us use our heads a little bit. But okay.
And who do y'all got with this one, Brandon Royval or Lonnie Kavanaugh?
So heavy in the chat for Kavanaugh, 83% so far as the votes. There's been 12 votes.
You got any skin in the game on this one?
I got Kavanaugh on this one.
Yeah.
So Kavanaugh, I think, is just, Royval
he's looking to slip and rip.
Tough, as they say. But
Lonnie Kavanaugh's best highlight comes from his Cage Warrior days. He had a really beautiful, 3 striking exchange combination where he jabbed in. He was really good at getting in and out, but also staying in range whenever he wanted to land his offense. It was a beautiful sequence that he put together and got a knockout in Cage Warriors. Maybe it was for a belt. I don't know exactly. But, obviously that's what he's looking to do right now. He's looking to blitz in with good 1s and 2s and then jump right out of range just so he can slip and then rip some solid shots back up at Brandon Royval, who is a taller figure and generally – his head doesn't move all that much when he closes distance. So as long as you can use your footwork to get inside and then start to chunk those heavy hands, you can probably find Brandon Royval on the tail end of your punches.
Well, we got Brandon Royval winning the front foot exchange.
Beautiful
front foot battle. He's got his lead leg because Brandon's in the southpaw. Lonnie just switched to southpaw, but he's been in orthodox for most of the fight. And Brandon, I think he switched back again there. Because Brandon was finding some success with his longer arms, getting that front lead leg on the outside, which lines him up perfectly for that 2 down the pipe. But
send that 2 to the body, and that's what always my thing. Send that first 2 once you're winning the outside foot out and the lead side hand battle. What you need to do is send that 2 to the body. It's always there.
Very high-paced fight so far.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell who's winning this fight. Too.
Brandon Royval, in my opinion, he's
more active.
Jab. He's got Loney missing more shots than he's missing. He's dictating the pace. He's controlling the octagon by all measures, in my opinion. And he's seeing the shots, right? That was a beautiful kick by Loney Kavanaugh, but you can see Royval is paying attention to it. He's catching the kicks. He's trying his best to utilize any offense that Loney shows into offensive moments for himself.
Yeah, Loney's having some success when he comes inside, but so far it's been the jab of Royval that's been kind of the story here.
Beautiful feint from Royval. He showed the backhand. Loney bit on it, hook, line, and sinker. Loney looks a little bit tense to me. His shoulders are a little tense. He's a little bit rigid with his motion. I think he needs to settle in and get a little bit more comfortable. He's also quite heavy on that lead leg, which can open opportunities for Royval to start to chop it, especially when they're not in open stance, but in a closed stance of southpaw versus southpaw, which Loney has now shown about 5 times in this first round.
Loney seems
He's already
a little
feeling his
frustrated
nose.
with his entries.
Beautiful
shot by Royval.
And remember, Loney is a very hot prospect, maybe the hottest prospect at 125. But Brandon Royval is an experienced 125er. Loney has 3 fights in the UFC.
Yeah,
that's a big difference.
And on the feet, he's now in side mount is Brandon Royval. Lonnie trying to turn into him and start to build his his butterfly guard and get himself back to his feet. But Lonnie wasn't really doing much on the feet either. It did seem like there was some real frustration in Kavanaugh's face because he was having some trouble getting his entries on Royval because of that jab and the outside foot battle that Royval was playing. Couple of nice elbows from the top of guard position for Royval there. And so far Brandon Royval's running away with this round. Yeah, Lonnie Kavanaugh needs to get he may, with 28 seconds left, it's hard to say, but this round's pretty much in the bag for Brandon Royval. I may just try to ride this out and not to see. Yeah, he's taking a little bit too much damage with some of those elbows trying to scramble. Okay, Lonnie's back up to his feet. He's got double unders with Royval against the cage. Just a hair over 10 seconds left in the round. There's the paddles. Beautiful outside leg trip by Lonnie Kavanaugh. And round number 1 is over, guys. Yeah. Hopjet asked 10-8. No, I wouldn't say 10-8. 10-9, though. Solid round for Royval. Very, very clear-cut 10-9. Lonnie needs to relax himself a little bit, as Nick said, and work on the outside foot battle. If he's going to be fighting out of orthodox, the longer Brandon Royval has been winning that battle all day with the lead leg and the jab, he's got to find out a solution to that. I don't know if that is to switch to southpaw and see if he has some success there, or try to establish lead leg dominance where he gets his front foot on the outside of Royval's so that 2 doesn't line up down the pipe for Royval, but it lines up down the pipe for him. But there's definitely some adjustments. I can't really hear what Lonnie's coaches are saying, but they're giving him some pretty pointed advice from multiple people in his corner. So let's see how Kavanaugh comes out differently this time.
The line has officially swayed on that one.
Yeah, no doubt.
Brandon Royval looks at home. He looked comfortable. I think he really likes how that first round went and is going to try to go do the exact same thing again. Now, Loney got 5 minutes to try to figure his opponent out. This open stance is a tricky one, right? Open stance is a different fight than when you're fighting somebody in the same stance as you.
And may I say, too, and you're the one that taught me this, the open stance is generally way more favorable to the southpaw, and that is just sheer mathematics. There's more people on planet Earth that are right-handed than left-handed. So southpaws are very used to seeing orthodox fighters. Orthodox fighters are basically doing everything in reverse.
Correct. And it's all about repetition, right? Because a guy like Loney Kavanaugh can find exclusively left-handed fighters to train with for a fight camp, and you get a good 10, 12 weeks if you're fighting for a full fight camp. But Brandon Royval, when he took his first lessons in an MMA gym, probably over a decade ago, he was probably the only left-handed guy in there, and he was probably seeing nothing but right-handed guys. And those repetitions year after year just show you so many different things. And like, if you're in an MMA,
beautiful time, 2 down the pipe by Lonnie Kavanaugh with a kick.
Royval is in a lot of trouble right now. Loney might gas himself out going this crazy, though.
Yeah, Lonnie needs to take his time. Royval's a dog.
They don't call him Raw Dog for nothing.
Looking for the omoplata there is Brandon Royval. Yeah. There's been very few of those in the UFC, but Lonnie needs to take his time here.
Man, this one might not get out of the second round, y'all. Lonnie Kavanaugh is hammering it down. But, okay, we've got some sort of modified rubber guard coming from Brandon Royval. I think that was a lack of experience on display from Lonnie Kavanaugh. Of course, if you smell blood in the water, you got to go after it and try to get the finish, but you got to be smart about it. And it looked to me like he saw this as a clear opportunity for him to win this fight. And I don't know if he thinks he can win it on the scorecards. So he jumped in gung-ho. And unfortunately, 30 seconds later, Brandon Royval is now up against the cage, working himself back to his feet. Probably not quite as dazed as he was a few seconds ago. If he can make some distance up, but in classic Brandon Royval fashion, he's right back in the cut in the strike zone with a heavy-handed Lonnie Kavanaugh trying to get right back in his face. And I think that's actually, depending on how dazed Royval is, that's actually a good idea, because Lonnie Kavanaugh for sure is looking to take some breaths right now. After you try to ground and pound somebody like that, you truly do expend all your energy, and you can have adrenaline dumps. Oh, big elbow from Lonnie Kavanaugh. Royval eating it like a champion, staying right in his face. I don't really love that he's not, skating and trying to basically give Lonnie this round. You can clear your head for 2 minutes by avoiding Lonnie Kavanaugh and then come out with a better game plan for round 3. But instead, Brandon Royval didn't become a guy with Hall of Fame level fights on his resume by being a guy that gets on his bike and runs around the cage.
Well, he and Joshua Van did officially win Fight of the Year this week at the awards ceremony earlier in the week.
So that'll be a Hall of Famer for sure.
I don't know if that's the UFC officially that puts that on, but yeah, that's definitely a Hall of Fame fight, no doubt.
For sure.
But yeah, we're just over a minute and a half here, guys, in round number 2. Lonnie Kavanaugh had some really big success early on. May have emptied the tank just a little bit too much.
Was the elbow to the back of the head?
It looked like it may have been.
It looked like it might have landed clean to the back of the head.
And
what are we going to do? Throw the book at Herzog? Is that who's in there right now?
So,
hey, where's Herb Dean been? I haven't seen him tonight.
I don't know if he's reffing on this card tonight, but so far,
beautiful
to a takedown for. A double leg attempt, and now an executed takedown for Brandon Royval.
I like it. He's trying to even the round a little bit. I don't know if this is going to be enough for him to win the round based off of the big flurry that Lonnie had, but this is great to prevent Lonnie from gaining any gas back, right? You don't want him refueling and getting back to where he feels comfortable. I think he's very explosive and uses, electric striking, but that is an exhausting pace that Lonnie Kavanaugh is showing us right now. It's a little bit of a lack of experience that I'm seeing. Brandon Royval is showing some grizzled vet tactics here.
Well, and this is very, very likely 1-1 going into the third. And beautiful hook there on the
finding
break.
Good shots on the break is Kavanaugh.
And that is it for round number 2. So we got one more round to go, and Brandon Royval seems to be the fresher of the two. Lonnie
he looks fine.
Yeah, he got knocked down, so he clearly lost that round, in my opinion. So I have it 1-1. But you got to like, where your fighter's, gas tank is compared to his opponent if you're in the corner of Brandon Royval here. So Brandon Royval's corner said, I want you moving around jabbing. If you throw the 2, I want the high kick to follow it. So pretty sound advice there, actually, from his corner.
I love it.
I love that.
A fighter in 1 minute after getting knocked down and all that sort of stuff, whether you've been knocked down or not, 1 minute is not enough time to tell him every little thing he needs to know. Find an opening and tell him when to throw it. And good fighters will find that opening.
Heck yeah. Just real quick. We have a Philip Kennedy and Margaret Kennedy in the chat, checking in from Savannah, Georgia.
That's family right there.
Why do I buy into the hype every time Conor runs an interview? But I think tonight is the night he cashes at plus 235. Good value bet or no shot. Dude, first of all, thank you so much for joining.
W's in the chat for the family. That's family, like legit. That's legit family for us.
Oh, let's see here. We got
big
a
combo.
Kavanaugh. I will get to that question, but let's see what happens here.
Oh, Kavanaugh's on
big
wobbly legs.
Royval
just got Kavanaugh.
These guys are just throwing down now.
Both men appear to be rocked, but Brandon Royval's got a smile on his face, and he looks fine, even though he's eaten some massive shots.
Brandon Royval is allergic to a boring fight. Okay, he's going in on a shot there. Guillotine attempt for Lonnie Kavanaugh. Let's see here. One submission for Kavanaugh did come by guillotine. Okay, Royval looks to be, Royval's kind of working his way out of half guard, and he's out officially. So Royval on top in the half guard position, couple of elbows. Let's see. And so, Philip, back to your question. Oh,
another big one for Brandon Royval.
I think the play on Conor McGregor that I took personally on Kalshi, and the thing I like about Kalshi, shameless plug to one of our sponsors, they allow you to cash out. We're working on a head and arm triangle, and I know there's other sites that do that as well, but you can set like a limit. So what I have is, I think Max is going to win the fight, but I think Conor's going to come out crazy, and he's going to come out hot in the first round, and the lines are going to move. I think if there's any action to be had on Conor, it's to take him early and potentially either hedge a little bit on a first or second round knockout, but or do what I'm doing, which is just to say, I'm gonna buy him at 10 and sell him when he gets to 13 or 14, so to speak.
And let me put it to you this way too, because Steven tonight on a fight that happened in the prelims, Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez, he was able to actually come out with Cody Garbrandt, and that's
my biggest hit of the night was on Cody Garbrandt, because I knew he was going to start fast.
So the winner and loser doesn't matter quite as much. I actually really like Kalshi for that reason, and it saves me a lot, because sometimes my picks are wrong, but at least my intuition to think like, oh, this is a good a fast starter, or this is a guy who can sway the line a little bit. You put a little bit on them and keep a close eye on it, you can usually wind up coming out on top. I love that. And if you do use Kalshi, anybody in the chat, please use promo code Barnhill. They'll give you $20 when you put 20 in, and that's a little skin in the game that you can have for free and enjoy. So I know I did that, and a lot of my friends over here in Houston have done it. So it's a good time. It makes fight night even more fun. Not only do your favorite fighters
less
win,
fun depending on how bad of a night you're having.
Yeah, you got to be. Yeah, you want to have a good night. But not only do your favorite fighters get to win, but you can win with them. So that's why I really enjoy it.
But I would love to see. And so Brandon Royval has been working a rear naked choke here. No real success thus far, but starting to cinch up.
Here it goes.
Still across the chin. Still across the chin of Kavanaugh.
I don't know. Kavanaugh's going to choke him out, or Kavanaugh's going to tap right now. Here it goes.
Now it's under. Now it's under.
He's going to tap.
Yeah, he's going to go to
tapping.
sleep. That's a deep rear naked
He's tapping.
choke. He's going to go out. That's it.
There's the tap.
Brandon Royval, rear naked.
He's out.
And he's out. He tapped and then slept. Rear naked choke for Brandon Royval, round 3. Man, I am not kidding when I say Royval is allergic to a boring fight.
Yep.
Man, if the BMF belt ever made its way down to 125, which I don't see how the heck it would, you got to put Brandon Royval's name on the list on the very short list.
Yeah, I don't think the belt should always be on the line, but they should add BMF rankings just across, like pound for pound.
Yeah.
Just so anybody who's like in there can be considered. Like Brandon Royval is a BMF.
Absolutely. Ducking Murphy says the timing of your analysis with the advantage leaning southpaw was on point to a T. Thank you, my friend. Sometimes we get it right. So we're like a broken clock. We can be right twice a day.
It's only because we're both southpaws.
Yeah, so I have a lot of experience with that. And people complain at the gym when I spar with them, and they're like, "Hey, can you switch to orthodox?" And it's like,
absolutely not.
It depends. Like if you're a newbie and you're like, you're a 45-year-old hobbyist, I'll oblige. But if you're like a killer, like, no, I need my best advantage. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But
I'm like Nate Diaz. I don't do that. If somebody's like, hey, switch over, I'm like, you've taken everything I've worked for. I've been working southpaw stance for years. You're not about to get me to switch over to ortho right now just so you can land some shots. Not gonna happen.
All right, boys and girls, 2 fights, 2 finishes.
Just on the main card, and the prelims were full of them. But yeah, like just so you guys know as well, before we get into opening this next pack of cards, whenever you're in an MMA gym and you have a coach, when he coaches you, he's going to explain things and from the perspective of ortho versus ortho. Now, occasionally you'll have something pop up, right? We have a big fight this weekend Conor McGregor's a southpaw. So if something amazing happens technically and we cover it the next week at the gym, it might be an open stance situation. But most of the time, it's ortho versus ortho is the orientation of how classes run. So you end up seeing that. And me being a southpaw, most of the time I have an orthodox teammate that I'm working with. And so when let's just say for simple combinations, if coach is like, all right, guys, today we're going to work a 1-2-3 to a backside kick. Well, yes, you can do that in the southpaw, but it may be more advantageous to do a 2-3-2 and then a switch kick, right? You just have to sort of always be willing to make that adjustment. And 9 times out of 10, whatever works in ortho versus ortho is the exact opposite in southpaw. And it's just because of the stance and the nature of the positioning of both fighters.
Man, look at how packed that stadium is. It is already completely full.
There's no fight like a Conor McGregor fight.
There really is none.
And here's the cool thing about this. And I never want to say anything negative about the numbered events. And Conor McGregor's been on nothing but numbered events for years now. But the UFC felt like they didn't really have to do much on Conor cards. They're like, we'll put Conor in. Anybody that can fog a mirror, you're going to get a slot against him. And we can literally put CM Punk and dog shit, matchups on these cards, and they're still going to sell out well. This card is actually stacked.
It's a great card.
With great cards. Yeah. Debuters like Gable Steveson, Paddy the Baddy, who's an absolute star.
Well, if you think about Robert Whittaker,
Cody
Garbrandt,
former champ.
I'm talking about former champs here. Paddy the Baddy fought for an undisputed. Max Holloway, former champ. Conor McGregor, former champ.
That's right.
So 4 former champs, one that fought for an interim. Sorry, excuse me. I mean, that's pretty stacked,
solid,
man. And this was, what a great number 4 versus number 6 at flyweight.
Tracy Cortez fought a girl that, beat Valentina in kickboxing. Wang Tong. Corey Sandhagen title.
Corey Sandhagen fought for a title, yeah.
All right.
Joe Rogan saying it's an insane pace.
How crazy is that? They just showed the most submissions in flyweight history. Pantoja and Mighty Mouse are 1 and 2. Roy Val's number 3. A guy who's no longer in the sport or in the UFC, still in the sport. Muhammad Mokaev has the next most, and he had a very short-lived UFC career. Yeah. So he's tied with Roy Val for most submissions. I hope they get Mokaev back in the UFC.
He's got to come back. Very quickly, Base Volkanovski says, unsure if you guys have mentioned it, but have you seen Conor has a mohawk?
No, I haven't seen that.
When did he cut the mohawk?
I don't know, but I hope.
The last time I saw Conor would have been the ceremonial weigh-ins yesterday.
Yeah.
I've not seen anything since then, to my knowledge.
He said, you know what I noticed?
I hope it wasn't Vic Blins that cut it, because Vic Blins is a curse.
He's a curse, just like Drake, and Drake bet on him too, right?
Yikes, yeah.
But no, he said he has the mane. He said, I feel like a lion. I've got the mane. Look at the beard growing in. One thing I noticed about Conor in the pictures that they did, the very high resolution pictures of him in his new fight trunks. Let me know if you guys saw this too. Conor McGregor's got this layer of hair on his entire body. Maybe I've just looked too deep into stuff. I zoom in on Instagram when somebody posts a picture, male or female, it doesn't really matter. But Conor's got this. Oh my gosh, there's Paul Stanley. That looks like a Karen at yeah. Rock stars from the 80s look like, wild grandmas of today.
So he came to the arena with a mohawk. Just saw it on Championship Rounds on X. Cool. Yeah, I have not seen it. I'm excited to see Mohawk McGregor.
Mohawk McGregor might be the mythical pull that we didn't expect.
We got Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson in the house. You got to expect this for a Conor fight, right?
Who's
it's
that, Sneeko?
Be as star-studded as it could possibly be. That's
Joe Pfeiffer.
No, it's an NFL play.
Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn, is he not running the
Max Crosby?
Max Crosby. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna when you said Joe Pfeiffer, the name eluded me.
Mario Lopez hasn't aged one bit. I need to get on his skincare routine.
Yeah, he's clearly on one that costs a lot of money.
And you want to know something that chaps my ass? Whenever I talk to people about, a couple gray hairs, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm developing a couple gray hairs here and there. I'll ask people from time to time out in public, whether I'm at the gym, whatever. I'll ask some of my friends, both male and female, what should I do about the gray hair? Right? Maybe I'm hoping that they give me some sort of, oh, I would use this product.
Yeah.
Oh, I would use that.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there is the mohawk. Whoa, Conor McGregor with a mohawk and the thick beard. He told him, give me something on the top, leave the bottom. That actually looks
Pretty
gangster.
yeah.
He doesn't miss. Conor McGregor doesn't miss. Is Mohawk McGregor enough to beat no Mohawk Holloway?
The haircut doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Like the biggest thing is
he's showing, no, you know what he's doing? He's actually showing the exact lines for the behind the head strike. So Max Holloway doesn't hit him behind,
we go. Yeah.
On the Mohawk.
Poetan's like, get me a barber right now.
Yeah.
Chris, why don't you come rip a pack while I use the bathroom? Y'all, Chris is going to jump in the chat here real quick and rip a pack while I hit the head.
All right, y'all. The third Barnhill brother on set, alive and in the flesh. Chris is here. He's the hardest worker we got in the family, and yeah, he's big into the cards. Him and Steven, you know, if it weren't for them, we probably wouldn't have a cool collection of fight cards. Look at this here. Bang.
Let's see what we got. I have the live feed on there, so this one being a few seconds behind is
I think
throwing me off of here.
And yeah, so
Shout
Bautista,
out Base Volkanovski. Thank you, sir.
What'd he say?
Chris is the GOAT.
Yeah, Chris is the GOAT. Hey, GOAT's in the chat for Chris, because all the content you guys watch that we, produce for y'all is made by him. And we have one other employee, Rovi. Shout out to Rovi.
Yeah,
she's a legend.
Rovi.
She is basically Chris's assistant. She does some of the editing as well. But for the past several years since we started the channel, Chris has been the guy putting everything out. And he and Rovi and today for the Barnhill brothers have been crushing it. The growth is exponential. Guys, we're over 105, 106,000 following across all platforms. So I appreciate that. And without further ado, Chris, get into these cards.
All right, cool. So we're starting off with Shi Ming.
Oh.
And Shi Bang.
She bang, she bang.
Is that coming through?
Yeah. Shi Ming.
All right, Steven pulled all the good ones. And we got Oban Elliott.
Okay, we'll take it. Chael Sonnen said he's a cool guy.
Oh, man, we're really just knocking it out of the park. We got Jacqueline Calva-Canty.
Okay, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Don't know her.
All right, we got our first numbered out of this pack to 99 to Gabriel Santos.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay, this is probably the coolest one that we've gotten so far. It is a memorabilia patch, Jalen Turner,
Ooh.
the tarantula, no longer in the UFC, but still cool.
But still super tall.
There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
They saved the
Got
best for
the
last.
Reaper.
Oh, he just
Robert
won.
Whittaker just won.
Nice little pull. They should take his shirt off for that, though. Guy's got a good body.
This is probably the best one out of the pack. Knockout artist, Yuri Prohashka.
Let's go for that.
Might be who Robert Whittaker's fighting next.
Ooh, might not be a bad fight. Pretty cool. Well, I guess I'll have to use my magic touch when I open up a deck.
Yeah.
But these are cool, nonetheless. They're nice and thick.
Yeah, they're hard to get in those sleeves.
I was gonna
it's almost worth not even sleeving them just to keep them safe.
Sleeve it up. Speaking of sleeves, I'd love to get a sleeve tattoo.
Oh, Base said, isn't Turner back in the UFC? I don't know.
Yes, he is.
Oh.
I was going to say, if you knew that he had been cut or something, he had retired, remember? Kind of early, at 29 years old. Now he's back a few years later. 6'3" at 155 pounds. I feel like he should go to 170.
Yeah, he's just ginormous.
He's so tall.
And if you haven't, look up Jalen Turner skateboarding. He's a great skateboarder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know Marcus McGee is also, but I didn't know Jalen Turner was.
Yeah. And a random one that you wouldn't think, not a fighter, Mark Norman can skate.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
I
feel like Mark Norman skateboarding content would actually go pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he can still do it.
If they make a new skate game, he should be a character.
Oh, yeah, that would be actually sick. Yeah, so decent card pulls. It looks like they're already bringing out the next fighter, and that next fighter is one Mario Bautista. Now, guys, this is one of the fights on this card I think most people across the board are saying is the toughest one to predict. For me, I think Corey Sandhagen in 15 minutes is a tricky proposition unless you're like Aljo and can just get him to the ground and get on his back. Obviously, Batista's good in the ground. I don't even like to call him a specialist on the feet or a specialist on the ground. Batista's a good MMA fighter. He's good everywhere. And he has good wins. Of course, when he gets to the upper echelon, he struggles a little bit, but I would put Corey in that upper echelon. So I think this is going to be a close fight. This might be the only fight on the main card that I predict going to decision, but I've got Corey Sandhagen winning this one. Let me know what you guys think.
I missed a couple of comments. So we got one that's very important. John Jones versus Chris for GOAT Legacy. I don't know if he wants that. And then, yes, we are all three actually brothers.
All three brothers. And hey, I'm going to bring up Glenn Deason. Let's go. We definitely need Nick versus Tony. Hey, I'm 100% down. We've been talking to Misfits. I reached out personally. My coach has an in with them, so we're trying to make something happen. I think he's going to be fighting Dean the Great soon, so I'll have to take a back seat for that for now. But Cody No Love suffered a pretty bad loss.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling he might get his walking papers pretty soon.
While y'all were live, I did see somebody tweet that remove page Cody, but I don't know how they would know this soon.
That could be one of those things where it's clickbait. But if Cody No Love wants to continue competing, but doesn't have a home in the UFC, maybe Misfits Boxing would want to bring him over. I would be happy to take him on my way to fighting Tony Ferguson. Let me know what you guys think about that. That would be a lot of fun for me. I think that would be a very interesting match. And at this point in his career, all it takes is one clean one, and I know I could find it. But yeah,
before I head out, one more comment for you. Are you Seth Rollins? Yes,
I am.
Seth Rollins.
That you alive in the flesh right here. No, I'm Seth Rollins' stunt double. I told somebody who said that last time that just reach out. I don't keep up with the WWE, but if anybody has an in over there, and Seth Rollins, if he ever needs to get beat up by his twin, or if he needs an evil twin brother to show up, I'm there.
Oh, that'd be great, actually.
Right?
That would be a WWE thing.
A WWE tactic, yeah.
Long lost brother, yeah.
Yeah, the long lost brother who's just an absolute maniac. I could do that. But you know what's funny about WWE? People go, man, you look just like Seth Rollins. I do, for sure. But there's another guy named Roman Reigns.
Yes.
He looks just like Seth Rollins. And then you look around and everybody's got the beard and the man bun, if you will, ponytail. So I'm like, all right, I guess I just look like every WWE fighter. It
needs to be the three of y'all, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And just have that'll be a
and boy, do I hate their chances in there because what they do is for funsies and what I do is a little bit more real.
Steven, I do need to run here. If you can come back, and I'm going to put a donation up.
Swapping
Thank
youngest
you for the donation.
Yeah. Clap it up for Chris in the chat. Switching out little bro for biggest bro. And that leaves me middle bro.
He is definitely the middle child, in case y'all couldn't tell.
Yes, that's right. Oh, so, hey, there's our girl, Mackenzie Dern, and a Toyo Tires. Man, they didn't.
Luciano, thank you so much, my friend. Hey, guys, I think Bautista got this. Thoughts? Chris, is there a way to get this
I got Corey
stuff
Sandhagen
off, by the way?
But I think, but I do agree with everybody saying this is the hardest fight on the main card to predict. Because this could go either way. It feels like this is evenly matched. And look at even all the way down to the tail of the tape, 34-33, 5'11", a little bit taller than 5'9", Mario Bautista.
Reach almost the same.
35 and a half for both men, essentially the same reach. So, yeah, did anybody else see what Corey Sandhagen said he's into?
I did, and we can.
How insane is that? I'll leave it at that. If you haven't, just go look up that.
I was about to say I don't want to go down that.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole either. But I was blown away that he said he admitted that.
Yeah. But with regards to the fight, who was that? Luciano, thank you again so much, my friend. I picked Corey. I think he's got more tools and more ways to win. Mario Bautista is definitely a better fighter than the first time they fought. This was the one fight on the card that I went back and forth on with my prediction before I ultimately made it for Corey Sandhagen. But you're definitely not off to think that Bautista is a real live dog here. I just think that the scramble ability, the shot selection from top to bottom, the cage IQ, how he mixes the martial arts together, strength of schedule, Umar being the common opponent, but overall Corey's had the tougher strength of schedule. I like Corey in this one, man. But
and I love this too. Ronnie said, and it was a typo, but right after I got done calling out Cody No Love, he commented, "I got Cody." And I'm like, dang, I guess
thanks, man. Yeah.
No. You're entitled to that. And hopefully we get that fight so you can cheer for whoever you want. But it was Corey that he meant to say. And he did correct himself. So I'm with you, Ronnie. Corey's going to win this fight.
And Elton says he looked up Seth Rollins, and you do, in fact, look like him, almost twins.
Yes, twins. He's probably a little bit taller than me and a little bit thicker.
And a little bit higher paid.
A little bit higher paid. But as long as you guys keep showing up, we'll catch him one of these days.
All right, here we go, guys. Oh, big head kick out of the gate for Mario Bautista. Corey moving around a lot on the outside like he often does, switching stances with almost every other step, to be honest. Mario definitely looking to pin him against the cage a little bit. Inside leg kick for Corey Sandhagen.
Corey already looks like he's setting up the jump knee.
Yeah, he loves that surprise jump knee. Corey catching the kick, not really doing a whole lot with it. Outside leg kick for Corey Sandhagen. Ooh, body kick for Bautista, but Corey landed a beautiful two as Bautista was throwing that.
Yeah,
we call that beat the kick, Nick. That was one of the most beautiful examples of beat the kick I've seen in the cage in a while.
Look, and Corey, he's one of the guys that truly loves to fight and feels like he's not active enough, and it's not on his part, it's on the UFC's part. But I think that Corey Sandhagen feels like he truly does think he's the best fighter in the world at 135 on certain nights. And he's just, all he wants is the opportunity, right? Everybody thought he'd get the Sugar Sean fight on the White House card. It didn't happen. They put him on the Conor card, which is not a bad consolation prize, to say the least. But I think that Corey is like a man on a mission, right? Mario Bautista has suffered some tougher losses recently with the upper echelon. And I think he has a little bit of time before he can fully reset himself. Corey is like, man, all I need is just a nice little win streak, and I can get myself in this stacked title elimination, basically, at 135. He matches up well with some of the guys at the top, and this is probably the best matchup that they could have made for the top 10 at 135 based off of who's matched up already, who's fresh, who's on schedule. Corey Sandhagen at 4, Bautista at 7. Man, that's a close fight.
But you're right. The fight was Sean. The fight was Sean O'Malley. Unfortunately, I think the UFC really wanted to see Sean get his hand raised on the White House lawn, and Corey is a tough fight. Not to say that Sean O'Malley couldn't have won that fight, but it's much harder than Ayman Zahabi. This, to me, even if Corey wins here in spectacular fashion, he's still got probably one more fight to win before he's really being discussed for a title.
Sure.
And like you said, there are nights where Corey Sandhagen looks like he could potentially beat anybody in the world. But, the last time we saw him was, I think it was October of last year, if memory serves, when he fought Merab. And, it was pretty well dominated in that fight, had his moments, but Merab handedly won that fight, winning probably 22 of the 25 minutes. But, Corey, Merab's getting older. He's not the champion anymore.
Peter Yan, yeah.
There's a lane for Corey to come in there and do some things, I think.
And I do think the UFC would love to see Corey Sandhagen versus Sean at some point for a world title. That would be a super fun fight and probably very entertaining on the feet. And honestly, everybody has been wanting to see Sean fight good grapplers. We already saw that. Now we need to see the two best strikers in the division go at it. And I think that's soundly Corey Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley.
Absolutely. Yeah, that fight makes a lot of sense, except for the fact that if you're trying to get Sean dialed up for a title fight, it's a risky move. And I think that's why the matchmakers didn't do it.
Sure.
Bautista's mounting some boxing offensive of his own here.
But you know what? Let's just say I see Corey Sandhagen controlling this fight right now. A great fight that could be made following this in Freedom 250 would be Amin Zahabi and Mario Bautista.
Oh, there you go.
That actually would be fun, and I would favor Mario to win that fight.
Corey Sandhagen with the push kick from the back.
And he's got such a wide arsenal of tools, right?
Beautiful takedown attempt straight to a lead hook for Corey. This is what we talked about when we talked about this in the fight prediction buildup, was the mixing of the martial arts. Corey will literally go from a jab to a double leg attempt that gets sprawled on, back up to an uppercut to a jump knee. Like,
right.
He's mixing the martial arts in real time, mid combo.
Yes.
Beautiful takedown from Bautista.
Yeah. Yeah, Corey, very good. One thing I just noticed him do that was very high level. No, not quite. He's going for it, but the
Salayev stretch, the banana split, as they call it. Can you imagine if Mario Bautista gets a banana split in this fight?
Yeah, he's got his knee somewhat safe.
Yeah.
There's 3 seconds left in the clock, so he's not going to get it. As long as he gets that knee behind the knee line or the thighs of Bautista, he was okay. Round's done. Round goes to Corey Sandhagen, in my opinion.
Yes, I give it to Corey, even with that knee bar attempt there at the end. Let's see. Turn my phone audio down. I have it playing on my phone and here so I can kind of keep up with the live, but the commercial just started coming through. Let me know, guys, how did you score that first round? Pretty close first round, pretty good. I gave it 10-9 for Corey Sandhagen. Let me know what you guys think.
Me as well. And yes, you were talking about the MMA awards a few minutes ago. Maybe next year we'll be invited to go out there. If the channel keeps growing, maybe we can give Nina a run for her money for personalities of the year.
That'd be a tough one to beat, but yeah. We're appreciative of all of you guys, man. In all seriousness, on a real note, as they say, we've had more growth this year than we've ever had before.
Yeah.
We were able to get Chris to leave his day job to edit for us full time, and actually be able to pay him more than he was making at his day job, which we're very, very grateful for. And,
we're cooking up a lot of stuff
to build an MMA media company, guys, one brick at a time, one live stream at a time, one video at a time. And you guys are the reason. Something cool that we're working on right now, guys. It's not ready to be shown yet, but very soon is a line of apparel. And it's not going to be exclusively like Barnhill Brothers logos and everything. What we wanted to do was build a brand that can kind of go synonymously with the fight game and with the channel. So I'd love any feedback you guys give me on what you might like. We're thinking about shirts, maybe some workout shirts like tank tops or hoodies right now, and hats, kind of keeping it lean and mean for the time being, just to start. But we've got some really cool designs, really good quality, fabrics, everything premium. We don't want to give you guys just another shirt that winds up at the bottom of your drawer. We want your favorite shirt to come from us. So the name of the brand reveal will come soon. The imagery and us actually wearing the stuff on the show will be seen very soon. And then we'll be able to really run it up and do a release for you guys on some merchandise that comes from the Barnhill Brothers, but isn't directly Barnhill Brothers logos. Now we will release some Barnhill Brothers logos. I know people want yo-yo merch, so we're going to bring maybe a real yo-yo, maybe a shirt or a hat with yo-yo on it. But I just want you guys to know, anybody in the live stream is a certified OG in the Barnhill family, and you guys deserve to know that we're working on a bunch of stuff. Once we hit 100K following across all platforms, we decided it would be cool to start a brand for you guys to rep on a daily basis. And so I'd love to hear any feedback you guys have on that. But back to the fight. We're 2 minutes, 58 seconds left in round number 2. Bautista, Corey Sandhagen, still going at it toe to toe. And let's see, who was that? Bernardo said he is hyped for the brand name release. Thank you so much, my friend. And
you're going to like it.
You're going to like it. And, think of, and it's not, like what they do, but think of like the, Bear and those guys and Santo Studio with Jackson, like how they've built a brand around what we're the Barnhill Brothers podcast, but we wanted to build a brand that wasn't just, Barnhill merch or whatever. We will have those lines and those drops, as Nick said, but a brand that kind of resonates with people even outside of the MMA space. And, but we think the name that we're working on right now, which we'll tell you soon, kind of will hit home for a lot of you guys. You'll see the vision. It could be the name of a fight gym at some point in the future.
It not only does it fit, for fighter merch and fit for the content of the fight sport content that we create, but it also, once you see it, you're going to understand, like, okay, this can be worn by anybody, whether you fight, whether you watch the channel or not. But obviously the origin of the brand would be that it started from this channel. It started from the fight fans that we've accumulated over the years. Y'all's support means everything. And all we want to do is just make sure that we're giving you guys something to in return, right? Y'all give us so much, the support, the subscriptions, following on all the platforms. The least we can do is make some cool merchandise for y'all. And plus, it's been a lot of fun developing this brand. So I can't wait for y'all to see it. And we'll release all sorts of content around it and everything like that as the time gets closer. But be on the lookout.
And Hopjed said something interesting, which I think he may be right about. Corey's leg being overextended in the first could be slowing him down in this round.
Yeah.
That can't be fun to have your leg stretched like that, especially if it's putting a lot of, I don't know how much pressure was on the knee, like in the sense of like a traditional knee bar. But I mean, if your leg's hurting from one of those submissions, you could be shaking off some cobwebs, because Corey is not quite as fast this round as he was in the first, although still a good round. And still 6 more significant strikes landed than Mario. This is a really high-level fight, right?
Yes.
This is probably the most high-level and evenly matched fight of the night so far.
Yeah, and we knew this would happen.
And, Mario's having his moments. He's pressuring forward.
Yeah, he's got blood leaking from his face. It looks like right around that right eye is where he's bleeding from. It does look like Corey's a little bit compromised with that leg. I don't know if it's the knee. And obviously, guys, adrenaline is a real thing in a sport, and you don't feel injuries when you're in there. But as the fight progresses, you start to let that pain settle in, and you can feel it. So we could see Corey Sandhagen right now moving with a torn meniscus or something a little bit, agitated in his knee, but he's not going to let that stop him. It might slow him down a little bit, though.
For sure. So how do you guys score that last round? That one was a little bit more in the gray area, if you will, than the first one is. I'm really interested to see what you guys think about how that last round should have been scored. I almost want to give that one to Mario Bautista, Nick. Am I crazy?
It was close, but I think Corey was slightly outscoring, and it just comes down to the damage, right? But Corey's face isn't covered in blood, and Mario Bautista's after the second round is. So more strikes landed for Corey than Mario, and more blood and more damage presumably was done by Corey than Mario. So I got to go 2-0 for Sandhagen.
Okay. All right, guys. Max Holloway getting taped up in the back.
A little glimpse at the former BMF. And, hey, don't you love it when good things happen to good people? Like, obviously, we're all hyped for Conor's return, but if anybody deserved red panty night, which Conor said, I had to dust off the red panties to give him to Max. Call your wife, baby, we done it. We're rich. Conor McGregor made us rich. Max was already rich.
He was already rich, but he's richer. This is the biggest payday of Max's career. I can almost guarantee it.
Yes, but the only thing that'll be bigger is if he knocks out Conor McGregor. His next one's going to be quite nice.
A mega fight.
That's going to be
American Off Grid said pretty even. Yeah, I'm with you on that, my friend. It was a pretty even second round.
Mario just drops
Corey Sandhagen.
Sandhagen's in trouble, but he doesn't look like he's lost.
Sandhagen turning the back, trying to roll to his feet.
Going right into some grappling. Now, obviously, it's tough when somebody's raining punches down, but he is scrambling, which tells me and should tell the ref that he is very much still coherent and with us. He's not unconscious. Really brilliant ability to just find a safe place.
Corey's a scramble machine, bro.
And now this actually makes things interesting, because if anybody on the judging side of things gave that second round to Bautista, this round is obviously going Bautista's way and may not switch very much. So we could see Bautista win a split decision or a decision outright.
Yes, Bautista really still coming on strong, but Corey's back up to his feet now. We're sort of in an over-under position. Corey backed up. Mario against the cage. Mario looking to create some distance. Spinning elbow for Corey that's ducked under by Bautista. Bautista in on a double, and he gets it. Beautiful takedown by Mario Bautista.
Not a bad place for Corey to chill for a minute, but he doesn't have much time. He needs to start working his way up and make sure he doesn't take any more big shots from Bautista.
Ooh, back of the head.
Pereira's like, get him out. DQ.
Pereira's like, fire the referee right now.
I'm gonna go.
It's Herb Dean.
I'm gonna go.
No.
Yeah, Herb Dean. They probably have him seated on the opposite side of the arena as Alex Pereira.
Pereira's like staring him down.
No chama.
Right. Corey's got about 2.5 minutes or so here to win this fight back, or I think Mario Bautista is going to win a 29-28 decision. 31 significant strikes in round number 3 for Bautista and 3 for Corey Sandhagen. So this really, Nick, could come down to how the 3 judges scored the
first 2 rounds. Yeah.
Well, I think the first round it should have been Corey across the board.
Yeah.
But the second round, man, that's up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah. Now this one's pretty handedly Bautista, and it's over halfway. So I don't know, unless Corey knocks him out, that he would win this round. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, Corey needs a finish in this round. Actually, he's got to get back to his feet first.
Yeah, he might not need a finish to win the fight, but to win this round, he would need a finish.
Yeah, but then again, what if the 2 of the 3 judges scored the second for Mario?
Yeah. How weird is that? Conor McGregor on the UFC 6 poster doesn't have tattoos.
And it looked like his opponent, it was only there briefly, was Michael Chandler.
No, it was Max. It was Max. Yeah.
Did Max have tattoos?
Yes.
Max did it in their.
Poor Herb. Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for Herb Dean, man.
I don't know if it was like a throwback fighter.
Yeah, it could be. It's like what Derek has been saying all these years. Man, that's Herb Dean's fault.
Yeah, Derek was
He's
the original
OG,
Herb Dean hater. Yeah.
And I think his was a little more friendly. I don't think he ever started a petition to get Herb Dean fired. But
no, I don't think Derek
Pereira
cares enough to file a petition of any kind. Mario Bautista is ragdolling Corey Sandhagen in this 3rd round.
If this would have been a 5-rounder, I feel like this could have been a fun 5-round fight.
This would have been a great main event on a fight night, like an Apex,
like a brilliant one.
And I'm almost bummed that it's not, right? This. But Bautista's definitely winning this fight. And Corey Sandhagen's pants have about done a 180.
Just how he likes it.
Yeah, not a good look for Corey in that last round. Hop Jet, I agree, my friend.
Oh, he got a takedown.
But who cares? Like,
it doesn't matter.
Try to get a knockout here in the last 30 seconds, or you're very likely going to lose the fight.
Very durable. I mean, he got rocked and found a way to stay safe, and now he's going to finish this fight. Now, obviously,
it's going to come down to how you scored the second round.
Yeah.
And by you, I mean the 3 judges.
Yeah. Yeah, my opinion doesn't really mean so much.
If only, right?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
That's the
Fight's
fight.
over.
It ends with Mario Bautista returning Corey Sandhagen to the mat for one final time. All right, guys. I want to do something I don't normally do, but I'm interested here. Before we hear the judges' scorecard, no cheating, everybody. So who won the fight? Corey or Mario?
Is there any way to
Let's see. All right.
I don't think anything with the 10.
No, there would have. The only way to do a draw would have been a 10-8 for somebody.
Oh yeah, 10-9, 10-8.
But I don't think anybody. Okay. All right, we got interesting 50-50 on 4 votes right now. Let's see. Let me know who you guys think won that fight, and then we will get the judges' scorecard, and we will see if that lines up with the consensus. Guys, I think Mario Bautista did enough.
Really?
I think he won the 2nd round and the 3rd round.
I think he won the 3rd for sure. I think the 2nd round, based off damage, which is the most important criteria when scoring a fight, has to go to Corey because he bloodied his face up and landed more strikes.
Okay.
And he controlled the octagon.
And that's why this poll is pretty even, 56-44 right now. Bernardo says, Bernardo, open some packs. We will, my friend. As soon as we get the judge's decision here and we hear what the winner has to say, we got another premium pack ready to rip.
Huh? Yeah.
Let's see here. Sean Baller, this is why I love this sport, you guys. Yeah, agreed, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Not like a 199.
Mario.
It's pretty only 10%.
10.
Hey, yeah, Azufa is doing these Sunday cards, which I actually kind of like. Sunday nights,
Sunday fights, yeah.
You're watching Zufa boxing. It's been kind of fun. You know, obviously they don't have the stars yet, but they've got a few, and they've been having fun fights. All right, here's Bruce Buffer with the decision. 29-28,
unanimous
all three.
decision. Mario Bautista. Yep. 29-28, all three judges' scorecards. Exactly what I thought. 2 and 3 to Batista, 1 to Corey.
That's a big cut on his face.
He's got a big gash. Joe's saying he came back and avenged the loss. What are his thoughts there? Oh, that was his debut. That's right. Tough debut.
Yeah.
So he said he knew if he could beat him, he could possibly fight for the title. Well, he's number 7. He just beat number 4. He will need to win at least one more, but this is a great win for Mario.
But he's officially a top 5 guy.
Yeah, he will be top 5 come Tuesday morning.
Beautiful slip.
Are the new rankings coming out Tuesday or Monday now?
I don't know. It's always been Tuesday, but hard to say.
So Joe's saying that he rallied in the second round, came out stronger in the third. Mario's saying he's always a good finisher, always will finish strong. Saying Corey only lost to champs and former title challengers.
He's a classy individual, is Mario Batista.
Yeah, and a really good fighter.
Yeah.
All right, before we rip the next pack, Chris, can you throw it up on the screen here? Thank you, Ronnie. Really appreciate the tip there, my friend. And let's get into your question. 155 champion Frankie Edgar versus current Justin Gaethje. Man, you're throwing it way back with Frankie. I love Frankie the Answer Edgar. I think what Nick said about the first hypothetical that we did pertains more so here. I think that the game has evolved to a level where when you go back to when Frankie was the 155 champion, it wasn't quite at the level that it is now. And that performance that we just saw Justin put on against Ilia Topuria was damn near flawless. And while I will always be a huge fan of the OG Answer, Frankie the Answer Edgar, my answer to your question is Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, Justin Gaethje. Frankie Edgar was never meant to fight at 155. He did that because there was not enough lower weight classes.
Right.
And the game just moves too fast. We didn't even see him have much success at 35 whenever he was kind of on the tail end of his career.
Yeah.
And it's just because of the game, right? So I go Justin Gaethje. Oh, there's Mackenzie Dern and Joanna. Let's get a signed autograph from them two. I wouldn't mind that.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. Guys, let me know in the chat. It looks like a couple of you are chiming in already. Logan says Frankie's way too small.
Yeah.
And Frankie's speed would be too fast for Gaethje, says Ronnie. I don't know. I mean, Justin looked pretty quick in that last fight. Frankie was really fast. I haven't watched a 155 Frankie Edgar fight in a long time. But I think that the size would play a factor. I do think the game has evolved enough. And from memory, just picturing some of Frankie's wins back at lightweight, I'm going to go Gaethje. But thank you for the question. Very interesting one. Very good one. And Imbredimov, good morning, boys. Good morning, my friend. Thank you for joining us.
What's up,
Remind us, what time is it where you are? Let's see here. And somebody said open some packs. So let us do just that. We got the co-main event coming up, so we'll rip this pack if I can get it open.
And we still have 2 more autographs.
And we got 2 more autographs, Chris is telling me. So they guaranteed us 4 in these packs. We've pulled a Valentina autograph Not only was it a Valentina autograph, it was a numbered one, right, Chris?
With their shorts
and
on
it had a fight worn short. Okay, so we got a rookie card, Alvin Hines at heavyweight. Just a base card there. Thank you again, Luciano, by the way. You're the man. Thank you so much. Let's go, Mario. I knew it. Shout out Mario Bautista and shout out you, Luciano. Thank you so much. Another base card here, but we got a Boers. We got Hamzat Boers Chimaev.
I like that.
And we've got a numbered card. It's a champion, a former champion. Fights in the weight class that we just watched.
135?
Actually beat the gentleman that just lost in his last fight.
Okay.
Am I ringing a bell?
Marab
Dawalishvili. Number 88 out of 199.
The year you were born.
Dawalishvili. Yeah, 88. 19. Go and telling people how old I am, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Marab Dawalishvili.
Don't worry. Everybody thinks I was born before then.
Man, I tell you what, the Jalen Turner. This is the Jalen Turner pack. So we have another tarantula. I'm trying to.
They should put a.
I'm trying not to mess these inserts up, but I always want to feel them and see kind of what they are. So it's an on-card autograph, Jalen Turner of 25. So this is number 18 of 25. On-card Tier 1 dual relic auto card, Jalen Turner.
Seems cool.
Very cool. That's a good one. And Alexander Rakic.
Okay.
This one seems like a little bit of a different style, Chris. I don't know. The museum collection.
Night of the museum.
And another Valentina. We're getting a lot of the same people here. Valentina Shevchenko. Not as good as the first Val card we pulled, but
we'll take it.
Still cool nonetheless. All right, let's go, Ronnie. Thank you. Let's see here.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's see what the matchup is this time. TRT Vitor Belfort versus current champion Sean Strickland. Does Sean get to also be on TRT? Because if not, I think I got to go Vitor Belfort. But
nah, Sean Strickland beats him because the game evolved so much.
No, but Vitor, when Vitor was geared out of his mind, he was an animal, bro.
For sure. But
Sean's had trouble with power. I think of Poetan. I think Vitor could overwhelm him.
Think about the game. Like some of the striking that used to land back then would never fly today. That's my thing. I think that Vitor, obviously a legend. And I'd love to see Vitor Belfort alive in a prime age right now. Like that would be super fun.
Yeah.
But all the guys that we're talking about of today got to watch all those guys as they were children growing up and learning from them, where Vitor didn't have that luxury, right? He didn't get to watch Habib. He didn't get to watch George St. Pierre. He didn't get to watch John Jones be all these, that is the era that people like Sean Strickland got to grow up watching and learning from. So I always move.
You're always going to go for the newer fighter.
I'm always going to go with the newer fighter because the game evolves so fast, and everybody okay, there's countless MMA gyms all over the country, and the best techniques that are going to be shown to us tonight, if there's a good gym out there, are going to be bringing that up on Monday.
Yeah,
we're going to cover what we saw, and that's just staying on the cutting edge, staying up to date with what people are doing. Here's a drastic example. Nobody saw Conor McGregor doing shoulder strikes to Cowboy Cerrone. That next week, I guarantee you, people were looking for that in the gym.
Did y'all work that at the gym?
That's been so long, I don't remember. But
yeah.
it could have very well been, it could have been too weird of a technique, but there's all sorts of things. Think about how much the calf kick has changed MMA in the past few years.
Yeah.
Nobody's calves were conditioned.
Well, Bob used to hate the calf kick, and now he kind of is warmed up to it. He used to absolutely hate it.
Again, Bob doesn't hate any, of course, he had a shirt back in the day that said no spinning shit.
Yeah.
Right. But he doesn't hate spinning attacks. He just thinks 99% of people that try MMA and do MMA shouldn't be prioritizing spinning attacks because they can't throw a jab in the first place. Right.
Yeah.
If you don't know the difference between the human anatomy of the shin, and you start slinging calf kicks to the inside of somebody's shin where their shin bone is literally pointing and facing just in a natural stance, then you shouldn't be throwing calf kicks.
Right.
If you want to use it like Pereira, where you do a pendulum step as you've created that outside opportunity, you can chop that calf and have a lot of success. Cheeto Vera, great job chopping down Sugar Sean's
The
calf.
first fight, throwback reference.
But again, that wasn't the inside of the calf or the inside of the shin. It was the outside where the peroneal nerve is. And I'll tell you, if somebody kicks you on the outside, it does a lot of damage that you aren't expecting, and you really don't understand why it hurts the way it does.
Right.
But I think it's because it's such a small muscle. I don't think I've ever been kicked in the peroneal nerve like Sugar Sean did, but I've been kicked in the calf, and it sucks. Like for some reason, the little muscle just does not recover like a thigh.
Have you ever had a calf cramp up on you?
Oh, all the time.
The calf muscle can really cause some pain.
Yeah.
All right, this is probably going to be the second biggest pop of the night. Thank you, Ronnie, by the way. Nick and I split on this one. I'm going TRT Vitor. I think he finds a knockout in the first 2 or 3 minutes because Sean can be knocked out. Nick's going Sean Strickland. Thank you so much for the question. That was a great one.
Yeah, and also we went different on this card, this fight as well. Patty's, by the way, heads will roll has officially hit the speakers. It sounds like to me. Oh, Patty the Batty is ringing through T-Mobile Arena right now. So.
Just real quick, too, we got Hope for Truth in the chat, a staple in our live chats. It's the first time I've seen you come through tonight. Peace, brothers. Thank you, Hope. We hope you're doing well tonight. Hope you're having a wonderful night and hope you're enjoying the fights.
Appreciate you.
Bernardo said, did you guys watch RAF earlier? No, I've only watched the UFC card.
I watched 3 of the fights. Arman's fight, of course, and Arman looked fantastic.
Yeah.
Once again, won in a shutout. Sudalayev.
Why are they doing these big wrestling cards on nights like tonight?
Sudalayev, not only did he lose to Kyle Snyder, but he got injured in the knee, and I think that could wind up compromising his 2028 Olympic run.
Oh, was it that bad, huh?
I mean, he got carried off the mats in a hurry.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he is not the kind of guy to lay back and let somebody pin him. As soon as his legs started giving him a problem, he just laid on the ground and gave the fight to Kyle Snyder.
Oh, wow.
One more before the fight starts.
All right, we're going to squeeze this one in too, Ronnie, before the fight starts. Thank you again so much, man. We love these. These are very thought-provoking. Prime WEC Jose Aldo versus 2014 Conor McGregor. Remind me, 2014 McGregor. Where does that put Conor? I'm so bad with dates. So that's 12 years ago.
That's when he fought Max Holloway.
Okay, probably prime WEC Jose Aldo. Now, I love what happened in that fight. I think it's one of the most iconic moments in UFC history, but I would also be lying if I said that, the trash talk leading up to that didn't affect the outcome, and to some degree that Jose just wanted to put hands on Conor so bad. And Conor played into it beautifully, and power to him. He did exactly what he should have done. But I would have loved to see that fight go on for a little while to see what would have happened. We'll never know. Prime Aldo and 14 McGregor. I think I got to go Aldo on that. If you start to get into like 16, 17 Conor, I may have a difference of opinion. 2014 McGregor versus Prime Jose. I think I'm going Prime Jose. How about you, Nick?
It's hard to say, right? Because would the guy who was a few years, back in his fight career in the UFC and Conor McGregor have been able to implement the mental warfare, which I think largely won him that fight against Jose Aldo? Or would he have just approached it as a regular brash Irish guy? Who knows? I do think that he was able to agitate and get under the skin of Jose Aldo, and that's why he won that fight. He had
2014 was Poirier. He got his head, so he would have had the.
Oh yeah, so he would have had the talk. So yeah, I would go Conor McGregor over Prime Jose Aldo, just because the skills didn't develop all that much between 2014 and when he got Jose Aldo's belt. And if he was able to evoke emotions and get people out of their right headspace, then yes. And obviously Jose Aldo, although a great champion, didn't deal with the mental warfare very well. And here's a guy.
This guy's a star, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Patty the Batty's the man.
Look at that crowd.
Everybody's doing the Patty the Batty dance. He's going to be a little bit tired after all the dancing, but Scalzos don't get knocked out, lad.
Have you guy, Patty. Hey,
Come on, Patty.
knocked out.
Sorcerers. Yeah, Cody No Love thinking that
WEC
sorcerers.
Aldo was very leg heavy kick. Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, Jose Aldo's got some of the best leg kicks of all time across his career. You know, how would have Connor's legs held up? Connor was also very light on his feet back in those days. So it would have been interesting, but I think I'm going to stick to my guns and say prime Aldo would have beaten early UFC days Connor.
Fair. And who
Yeah,
you guys
Mike
got
Tyson,
tonight? Mike
Tucker
Tyson,
Carlson, Vince Vaughn, Theo Vaughn,
Stars
Mel Gibson
studded.
in one little shot right there.
Theo
Goodness
Vaughn
gracious.
and Vince Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn's not even the most famous Vaughn. Who actually, I don't know. Is he more famous than Vince Vaughn at this point?
In today's world,
today's world,
you know,
yeah.
who knows?
Back in Wedding
prime
Crashers
Vince
days, yeah.
Vaughn.
How about that one, Ronnie? Prime Vince Vaughn versus today's Theo Vaughn. Yeah,
That's the real debate
I
because
love
he
it.
did come from Wedding Crashers.
That's a goated movie, bro.
Yeah.
That was a great walkout for Patty, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always a fan of the Batty walkouts.
And here comes the Frenchman, Benoit Saint-Denis, the god of war, 30 years old. I would say we got to lump Benoit Saint-Denis into the top 5 for most badass, scary-looking dudes on the roster.
Yeah. Well, you know,
his ears stick out in the world of people with messed up ears.
You know, the thing about BSD that you have to really think about is the fact that you said he's just barely 30. And on top of that, he's on a 4-fight win streak, hasn't been out of the second round in any of those 4 fights, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions, very, very high level. Switched camps to Nicholas Ott is his head trainer, the head trainer of Nasruddin Imavov. Excuse me. And he's cleaned up his striking. He's taken a different approach to how he attacks, and he doesn't get too open with his opponents and get too eager and can't get caught like he did against Dustin Poirier. We're seeing a very evolved Benoit Saint-Denis, and I think this is a really tough fight for Patty. I picked Benoit to win this fight mainly because Benoit Saint-Denis can get a takedown. He gets 5 almost per fight. His striking is going to be a little bit more clean and direct to the point and not so loopy like Patty's.
Sure.
Patty doesn't get he's good on the ground, but he doesn't really get takedowns. So if there's somebody initiating takedowns, it's going to be BSD. And if there's somebody hitting clean jabs and clean straight shots, it's going to be BSD. Now, the X factor is, I think Patty's chin is, I mean, he says Scousers can't get knocked out. At least he's referring to himself as a Scouser who can't get knocked out. You know, he's proven that in his own career thus far. BSD has been knocked out before, so the susceptibility there is a little bit of an X factor. Ultimately, I got Benoit Saint-Denis. I actually kind of think he wins a decision, and I think he does it from top position on the ground and with straight punches.
You know, he's got 17 wins and only a couple of losses, but he's never won a fight by decision.
Yeah, but Patty also is, you don't
Durable.
really get Patty out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is going to be a wild striking match. I've got Patty winning this one. Mid-fight finish.
Mid-fight finish for Patty Pimblett. Okay.
Yeah.
And the chat is in agreement with you. 62% are going for Patty.
Let's go.
Ronnie says, love Patty, but logically I got BSD. Same. I'm right in that same boat with you. I would like to see Patty win. I think he's good for the sport. I think he's fun. Somebody said back in the comments, I can't find it now. Oh, there we go. Glenn. I actually think Patty is a big enough star that his career could handle another loss here. I agree. I mean, it wouldn't be the ideal scenario.
2 in a row sucks. Yeah.
Patty's not going anywhere with a loss to BSD here.
Certainly not.
The trajectory of the career may take a little bit of a turn, but Patty will still be in meaningful fights.
Random question. Will you ask Glenn if he's the Glenn from UFC Breaks? There's a guy that opens UFC cards. His name's Glenn. And I don't know if that's maybe who that is.
Glenn, but Chris wants me to ask you a question. Are you the Glenn from UFC Breaks? I guess it's a card ripping, a card rip channel. He wanted me to ask you.
Is that the same person that asked to rip cards earlier?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Let's go, guys. All right. We got a commercial, but it looks like they're about to announce the co-main event, and it is getting hotter by the minute in this room. I don't know about you boys.
I'm cool as a cucumber, lad.
They should let that smoke just randomly fall.
Oh, we're in the smoker round.
Benoit would have a huge advantage being in the military.
Yeah, he's like flashbangs, no problem.
BSD. By the way, Ronnie says Theo Vaughn takes the battles of the Vaughns.
Yeah,
like
I
it.
agree. I mean, his podcast is insane. The numbers he's pulling. How's he pulling that thing?
Glenn says he's not the card guy. Sorry, bud.
Oh, no worries.
Okay.
You're better than the card guy.
Yeah.
You're better than the card guy. We'd rather have you here. Thank you.
Hope says, how are the Barnhill brothers doing tonight? We're great, Hope. This has been a great fight card. You know, today's been a good day. Took my son go-karting for the first time today. We went to the arcade, spent some time with him this afternoon because I knew I was going to have to lock in around 6 o'clock tonight and be here until the wee hours of the morning. So my wife took over and put him to bed, and I've just been chilling with the bros and watching fights. So it's all in all, as my mom would say, a red letter Saturday.
Yeah, I woke up, had a bunch of coffee, ran a couple errands, had some more coffee. Then I got some wings because it's fight day, fight night. I had them for lunch, so I didn't have them like during fight night. I just kind of had wings, and then had some more caffeine, and now I'm here.
Did you know
Here we
that,
go.
Ronda Rousey's tradition after every fight she would get hot wings?
Really?
Is that right? Yeah.
I'll have to switch up my tradition.
Chris. So does Patty wear different eye contact lenses? I don't know.
I think he's got piercing blue eyes.
He's got that.
I'm colorblind, but
They're crystal blue. And Hope for Truth says, sounds like a perfect day. Indeed it was. And it is good to see you too, Hope. Thank you for being here.
And all the caffeine I drank is going to keep me up till about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
so.
well, yeah, you got a 200 milligram energy drink next to you, and you're talking about all the coffee you've had today.
Dun, 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 dun. It's Saturday. It's a Conor McGregor fight night.
Nick's pulling an all-nighter.
Yeah. Well, after this, we're going to go live, obviously, and do a instant recap, and then we go home. But I got to listen to the post-fight press conference. Got to hear what Dana's got to say. He's going to answer the same questions who is that?
Sophie Cunningham.
Oh, she's a legend. I actually love that. That is so cool. She's
That's
like my new
hilarious.
favorite athlete, by the way. Look at she did
with
the
finger
point.
point. There you go.
She's the best. Okay, her and Chrissy Blair. Chrissy Blair.
I knew nothing about that girl as of a couple days ago, and now she's everywhere.
If there was ever a WNBA jersey that I would purchase, it would be.
Let's
Sophie
lock
Cunningham.
in, guys. This fight is getting wild from the jump. Benoit throws a head kick and immediately in on a takedown. Patty in a guillotine position. Benoit rolls. Oh, this is wild from the beginning. Oh, Patty's got a Darce. An anaconda.
Anaconda. That's tight, and they are bone dry right now.
Wow,
Come on,
this
Patty.
thing was wild from the beginning. Patty Pimblett.
Come on, lad. Oh man, that's like a Peruvian necktie. Yeah, he's got him dead to rights.
Yeah,
he's got him dead to rights.
Got him.
He's
Patty's
going
to get a submission
He's going to tap
in the first minute of the fight. He's over. Benoit Saint-Denis.
That's a wrap.
Oh, Patty the Batty. What in the world?
I told y'all, Patty is going to out-grapple him if they take it to the ground. I thought it'd be an ugly striking match, but man, he showed levels.
So let's break that down for 1 second. It was wild from the beginning. This is the whole fight, basically start to finish. Couple wild shots. Benoit throws a head kick and immediately shoots for a takedown, which was actually a nice entry. Patty locked up what was, sometimes you see people defend the double with the head on the outside with the guillotine, but then he was able to adjust the hands, snap Benoit down.
Went from an anaconda to what I believe is a Peruvian necktie.
Yeah, and I was caught in one of those by a guy from Peru.
Mm-hmm.
Professor Pedro, the guy's been a black belt for like 15 years.
Absolute monster. Constantly in Valentina's corner for the large half of her UFC career.
And absolute beast grappler. And he caught me in one of those week before last. And I didn't even know. I knew he had me in a Darce, and then I defended, and he adjusted. And I said, "What did you get me with?" And he said, "I got you with a Peruvian necktie." And then he said, "I just wanted to give you a little bit of the local flavor, seeing as he's from Peru." So I was like, "Thanks so much.
Yeah.
I need a chiropractic adjustment now."
Yeah, no, it sucks to be there. And then that one that Patty's, once he had it cinched up here, once he threw the leg over the back and was able to then put the other leg over the back, there is no getting out of that.
No, that's it. Look at that. Look at the positioning. Absolutely beautiful finishing position for Patty Pembley.
That's a deep squeeze. That's a big
there is
problem.
no defense to that.
No.
In jiu-jitsu, they say there's always a counter to everything. Not that.
Certain chokes you don't get into if you want to get out of
When
them.
you're in a fully cinched up Peruvian necktie with the legs over the shoulder, I know Taylor must be happy. Y'all can't see, but Chris's girlfriend Taylor stepped into the room. She's right off camera.
She's big fans of Patty and Connor, so you got to know that she had to show up and watch the live stream from just offside camera.
She's the captain of casual, and she's a big fan of the two men and the main and the co-main.
Legend. W's in the chat for Patty and W's in the chat for Taylor.
There we go. Man, that was real impressive.
Yeah, that is a problem.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like a twister. He twisted him up,
Except
right?
the twister is like you twist the body.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
twister is like you're putting pressure on the spine. That was just all choke.
The fight itself was like a twister.
Yeah, well, it was like a damn
Like a
tornado. Like a Liverpool tornado, lad.
Another fight goes through. I mean, he just got through the God of War and didn't get knocked out. Maybe Scousers really can't get knocked out.
Glenn said Captain Casual is wild work, bro. We say that lovingly. We love Taylor. She's been in the family for a long time. And actually, to tell you the truth, Captain of Casual, I think, came from JD, right?
Oh, yeah.
Our
yeah.
brother-in-law. He's like, he trained a little jiu-jitsu with us back in the day. And
He's a beast.
Shout out to JD. He may even be in the chat. Shout out to JD. But yeah, he actually calls himself Captain Casual. And you may be able to go way, way back in the archives. I'm talking 5 years or more, and find him fill in for me once. And I believe he wore a jiu-jitsu gi with his blue belt on set.
Yeah, it's not in the thumbnail. It was a grand reveal mid-episode, but it's an OG from the very first studio, and he was sitting with me. So, oldie but a goodie.
All right, here we go. What a choke.
He's with Joe Rogan now.
Joe Sands, one of the most brutal chokes. So they called it a Darce officially.
Sub of the year is what he said.
He said, I had to say to Mark Goddard, he's unconscious, lad. He's out.
Yeah, he said he knew he was out as soon as he rolled over. Man,
That was incredible.
that deserves a performance bonus.
100%. So high kick to a double leg.
Immediately grabbed it. I thought maybe he jumped guillotine, but instead he wrestled out of that from a headlock position.
Benoit tried to
Beautiful.
roll out of the guillotine and rolled himself right into the death trap.
And what's beautiful is that once he locked up that anaconda grip, right? He that gave BSD his opportunity to think he could start to move.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Patty needed, was him to start moving a little bit so he could then create space.
He was still defending at that point, you see. At this point, he's out.
Yep.
Yeah, and you see Patty say he's out, lad.
What now?
Glenn says matchmaker Monday, Patty versus Taporia.
That's the fight to make 100%.
Yeah.
Do it at the end of this year. And I think we're off to the races. Go
Yeah.
send it over to the UK.
Yeah, I mean,
I know that
that's
they
a
were
hell of a fight. And Patty took 0 damage.
Mhm.
And I know Ilya took a lot of damage, but he's saying he wants to get back in December. Okay. Patty.
He's talking about. Somebody died.
Somebody
from
is
Liverpool.
shouting out somebody from Liverpool who passed.
It must be a soccer player from Liverpool.
I hope it's not another one of his friends. Every fight.
He's singing a
sing-
Liverpool song. I don't know this song.
I don't either. I bet Simon Wilson knows this one.
No doubt. Yeah.
I know that doesn't resonate with a lot of Americans because we don't keep up with Liverpool soccer, but I bet you Liverpool and all the bars over there are going crazy singing that along with him right now.
Saying he's having an after party and whoever wants it there can get it. I don't think anybody wants it at the after party.
No, certainly not.
All right, here we go. Ronnie, also shout out to you for getting all of the little enunciations or whatever you call those on Yuri's name correct. You actually took the time to do that. You're the man. Prime champ Yuri Prochazka versus 2011 John Jones. Oh, see, we're throwing back 2000. Where was John Jones? Somebody remind me. Where was John Jones at 2011?
There goes Oasis. That's Noel Gallagher, and I don't see his brother, but those must be his sons.
Puka Nacua. But so John Jones 2011. Help me out. Somebody, what fight was that? Chris is looking it up right now, and then we're going to give you a good answer.
Yeah.
Oh, that was winning his belt, John Jones. Yeah,
John Jones beats
beats
everybody all the time.
Yeah, John's the best fighter that I've ever seen compete. I know he tested hot. I know he's had his troubles outside of the octagon. I know that people don't want to consider him the GOAT for those reasons. But when you look at how easily he beat Cyril Gane and how good Cyril Gane actually is, when you look at and I know he had that tough fight with Dominic Reyes and the Gustafsson 1 fight was close, but you know, when you look at the amount of wins and title defenses he had and who he beat in his early 20s, I love Yuri. I'm as big a fan of Yuri as you'll find, but I don't think Yuri's like elite level champion, like all-time great champions. Yuri's a fun fighter.
Here's the thing. Yuri Prochazka, skill for skill, as far as athletics are concerned, could have hung with a guy like John Jones. This is the one exception where it doesn't matter what year John Jones, his fight IQ has been so high for so long. And Yuri, if you ask anybody who, especially after his last performance with Carlos Ulberg, what's the one thing he's lacking? It's fight IQ. And you cannot lack fight IQ if you want to beat John Jones.
Very well said.
Not now, not ever.
Very well said. And by the way, guys, we got just over 50 in the chat here on YouTube. I've seen it run up to about 60 tonight. We will be doing a live post-fight show. So what we're going to do,
that's right,
because obviously people won't want to go back and watch a full 2 or 3 hours of us calling fights. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the live stream after the final winner is announced, and then they give their post-fight speech. We will reconfigure the room. We need about 10 minutes to do it because we have the chairs set up to look at the TV now, and then normally we have the chairs set up where we look at each other. And so we will reconfigure the room, and then we will go live again and do what we call an immediate post-fight recap, for lack of a better word. So make sure you guys come back for that, and we will be giving our hot thoughts for about 30 minutes. Then we'll call it a night, and then, of course, tomorrow, Sunday, is official Barnhill Brothers recording day, where we'll have chance to listen to the post-fight speeches, sleep on our thoughts, come in here tomorrow and film a video that won't be live, but it'll be edited by Chris and posted Sunday night. So that is our schedule for the remainder of the weekend here.
Back to regularly scheduled programming.
There we
come
go.
Tomorrow night, and we'll all be in the premiere whenever that episode drops.
And we got Mr. Wonderful. Sup, bros? What's up, man? Thank you for coming in.
Yo. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
You're right in time for the main event.
I'm not mad at it being only 10:20 and the main event being next.
I'm going to put my big Irish paws on your face.
I grabbed a perfect picture when you said it was just him.
Yeah.
And we got the last pack, so that one's got the last autograph.
Ooh.
If you want to open it, Nick, that could give it the Connor look.
Oh, a little bit of magic. All right. You want me to open it? Guys?
Yeah, we might as well just rip the final pack of the night.
Or should we let Taylor do it? All right, y'all. Final pack. Send some positive vibes, some good energy over here, and make sure that we got the one-of-one Conor McGregor.
Conor Khabib dual signature.
Conor Khabib dual signature right here. We'll all retire.
They should do one of those fight worn pants patches as a red panty patch for
That would be hilarious.
McGee's,
Yeah.
Glenn says English Mac. Patty is becoming a super man. That's exactly what you want to do after suffering a loss, is come back and win like that, isn't it?
Hey, open this for me.
Okay. See, this is why
All that caffeine made my hands slippery. I'm not strong enough to open it.
no, these are a little bit tougher than some of the other cards.
flip it over, maybe the bottom will open it.
Yeah, let me see. There's kind of a weak spot there where you get it. Here, let me.
That's what people say about me about this podcast. Oh, the weak spot of the podcast.
All right, there you go. So
All right,
out. You got
first
a rookie
one.
card. That's a good one.
Oh, a rookie, Atiba Gautier.
Atiba Gautier
Freedom and
rookie card.
Weep. Pretty cool. I think there's some promise on his career moving forward. Tom Nolan. Not the biggest name, but a lightweight nonetheless.
Rookie card as well. You see those RCs here in the corner? That's how you know it's a rookie card.
Okay, Valentina Shevchenko once again. We already saw her.
Lots of Valentinas tonight. Is that a numbered one or anything? No, just
The most recent man on the UFC roster to lose his undefeated record, Ilia Topuria. Nothing special, I don't think.
I was about to say, is it an auto or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, just a regular card.
Mario Pinto. Pinto like the bean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is a numbered one. So this is a 9 of 149 rookie card.
Number 33 of 299. The same man once again, Mario Pinto. Knockout autograph card.
There we go, Mario Pinto. On card autograph, rookie card auto.
Ming Yang Zhang, rookie card. Ming Yang Zhang. And the final one is a knockout UFC 36 of 99. 2 fighters on it. Alexander Pantoja and Tatsuro Taira.
There we go. That's cool.
I don't know.
That's the lineage one.
Lineage. For the
They
lineage.
definitely made that thinking Tetsuro was going to beat Josh Vance.
Ooh.
36 and 99 lineage. There we go, guys. Some good pulls. And the final auto of the night. Here you go.
I sunned Max.
Guys, let me know. Do you guys like the
Son
card
man.
rips? We've been trying to buy these packs just to have something to do and engage with you guys with in between fights. One day we'll probably give some of them away. We may have some of them graded and put some of them on set. We don't really have a plan with them, but we've been, spending a little bit of money and buying a pack that's fun to rip on these big fight nights. So if you guys are enjoying it and you're liking it, we'll keep doing it. Elton says, "Oh, Paddy the Baddy."
Let's go.
When you see a comment written out like that, you have to say it how you know what the intent was there.
100% lad.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna box your ears off with my hands down, Max.
Don't you dare hit me in my mohawk.
You're not gonna lay a glove on me, and even if you do, it's not gonna matter. These guys are not on my level.
You're blessed that I chose you.
You're blessed that I chose to whoop your ass next. The king of the one-liners.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn. Where's the controller? I just need to hear the walkout, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to.
Well, this will be Max first.
If it's coming through the microphone, let me know. It shouldn't. But we just kind of all have to relish in this walkout, don't we?
Yeah. This is literally peak pure cinema that the UFC can create, which is a Conor McGregor fight, but that has to follow a Conor McGregor walkout, which is always epic.
And you knew they were going to find a way to make Conor walk out second.
Oh yeah, he has 3 fights at 170 and Max has 0. So as far as 170 is concerned, even though he's 5 years removed from competition, he is still a more decorated welterweight.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
And I think Max is walking
Max got
out
a good
to
walkout
classic,
too.
Maybe that somewhere over the rainbow.
He always comes out to the traditional Hawaiian music. The lights are cool. Love the blue lighting. with the
Yeah,
smoke.
it looks like he's coming through the dang smoke. And we all love Max, right? Like the thing about this fight that I've had to keep in my mind is I love Max. I love Conor. Obviously, Conor's the most important person to fight in the UFC in the history of the sport because he brought more fans than anybody else. But Red Panty Night did become a thing that it's almost reserved like the BMF, right? Not everybody deserves a shot at a fight with Conor McGregor. That's the biggest fight you can make. But there is one man that totally deserves it after his body of work since fighting Conor McGregor, and that's Max Holloway.
Well, and you know, Conor said in his interview with Ariel Helwani, they were looking at the Charles fight until Charles did what he did against Max. And say what you will, Charles won the fight and he looked fantastic. But you know, the UFC wanted a specific style for Conor's return, and that's why they chose Max. And because obviously they would have loved to have had a belt on the line. But they weren't going to take the chance of Conor coming back and just getting wrestled. Ronnie, let's knock this one in. Let's knock this one out before the main event. Let's see here. Tony Ferguson, 2014 to 2019 versus 2025 Arman Sarukian. So we're basically talking prime Tony versus Arman of last year, most recently Dan Hooker. I mean, Arman looks like a world beater right now, but he hasn't put together the win streak. Was it 9 fights like Tony did in that period of time?
12.
Was it 12? That's right, 12. Out of respect, I mean, maybe Arman could have beaten him, but you got to respect the streak. Tony was damn near unstoppable in that time. He had a good style to combat Arman's wrestling. He's good scrambles, durable as hell during that time period. I'm going Tony.
I got Arman. The game moves so fast. Got to go with what I've been saying. Arman, too, you know, he's not only beating people in all realms, right? He's out there mercy ruling everybody he wrestles against, and they're not slouches. He's out there submitting guys every time he goes out there to grapple. You know, he made his debut against Islam Makhachev.
Yeah. Think about that. And went decision.
And went decision
at 22
with
years old.
So, yeah, Arman's the real deal. And Tony Ferguson, you know, he had an epic run. But the game, that was kind of one of those major chapter changes in the game when Tony Ferguson went from being like the boogeyman to somebody that a lot of people could beat. So I would go Arman Sarukian, but I do love Tony, and I would love to fight him even more.
There we go. We're going to make that happen. I see a lot of people in the chat talking about making that boxing match happen.
Hey, the louder we get, the closer to it we get. Oh, the foggy dew has hit the speakers, y'all.
Foggy dew on the speakers,
foggy
ladies and
dew.
gentlemen.
the patented green smoke.
Thanks,
Oh,
Ronnie.
man,
I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate you.
If we get quiet here for a second, it's just to pay respect to the greatest to have ever done this sport, not just in the cage, but out, and that's Conor McGregor. This is different than anybody else. The walkout song. Oh. He had Sinead O'Connor in person one time, too.
She passed away, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
It's a bummer. Man, the foggy dude gives me goosebumps. There's, like you said, obviously the best ever done. You don't mean he's the best fighter of all time, but
no,
he's
the best to have ever been signed to the UFC and done everything. What he did to gain belts, what he did to climb the ranks, what he did to gain notoriety, to build fan bases, to make the UFC what it's worth now.
Yeah, there was never anybody like him, and I don't know that there ever will be.
No, it'll never happen again.
To take almost 100, I think he's got 8 of the top 10 pay-per-views of all time.
Mohawk McGregor.
Over. Here he comes.
Oh, this looks like a legend.
A lot of people thought we would never, ever, ever see this moment.
Yeah.
And we have Conor McGregor with the Irish flag, the rosary around his neck, shirt's already off.
Never comes out with a shirt. I love that.
Yeah, he never had. That's been his thing the whole time. Now wait for the pop from the crowd. You thought Patty's was a pop.
The notorious Conor McGregor has returned.
I can tell you, Nick, we've sat on this channel and talked about Conor coming back and fighting again. And, you know, we've had quite a few people that have said, give it up, guys. You're never going to see him again. you guys are holding on to hope. I've always just believed that at some point, whether it was running out of money or, desire to see if he still has it or boredom or whatever you want to call it, that Conor would come back. I don't think he's back here simply for a paycheck. I really believe he's back because he said it at the press conference himself. He wants to prove it to himself that he is still who he thinks he is. Now, Conor missed a lot of prime years of his career that he can never get back. He's 37 years old now, and he's been gone 5 years. So what's that? Somewhere around 32 years old, depending on when his birthday falls, was his last fight. So 32, 33, 34, 35, all the way now to 37 and almost 38 years of age. I believe he turns 38 in a couple of weeks. Those days, those years are never going to come back. We don't know what Conor would have looked like if he was competing then. And so I think in many ways, he really is wanting to prove to himself if he's still the guy that he says he is.
Yeah. Yeah, the Conor that we've gotten for the return is exactly who we needed. We didn't need the wild man. We didn't need the El Chapo Conor. We needed this one who is not putting himself first anymore. He said he'll be at his after party not drinking tonight because he's focused on what's next after Max Holloway. Not just, he's not overlooking Max, but this isn't a one-off.
Yeah.
Like Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano were like, yeah, we're not both never doing this ever again. Conor's like, no, I'm about to show everybody that I will be the first triple champion. Now, lofty goal to say the least.
Way from that.
But one fight here changes everything.
It does, but I still feel like Justin Gaethje would be the better answer if he does somehow pull an upset out of his ass tonight.
Oh, the Billy Strut. He's hitting the Billy Strut like the only billionaire in the game can.
It looks like we're going to get Mike Beltran as the ref. That's a good call.
Yeah. Mike is solid. Mark Goddard is probably the industry standard right now. But
Mike's getting up there, bro. Mike is good.
Oh, yeah. He can't ref Conor because Conor hopped. He scaled the fence one time at a Bellator event and got in his face.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. We got in the chat 28 votes. 57% for Conor McGregor and 45% for Max Blessed Holloway.
Let's go.
There we go. Logan says, crazy to think DC was 34 when he first fought in the UFC. Yeah, I mean, DC, yeah, he was fighting in the higher weight classes, so you can kind of, peak at a later age. But, yeah, he came a long wrestling career, came over from Strikeforce. Still had a hell of a career.
Yeah.
And is having a great post-fight career as an announcer now.
Yeah, couldn't make that heavyweight limit if he tried, but he'd
be
the man
cutting
on
to 265 at this point in time.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be a fun cut.
No, not at all. Man, 34 for Max Holloway. It feels like he's 84 in fight years.
Yeah. This is the Bruce Buffer doing the announcements. Here we go.
Y'all. 70-something in the chat. Let's get it to 100. Conor McGregor's about to fight.
W. Durkham says older guys have been having success in the UFC in recent years. You're right, my friend, especially 2026.
I think it's the recovery, the health, the nutrition, all the stuff that they're putting into consideration now is helping people extend their prime.
Because the unks got the minds, right? They got the mental. It was always the physical, and now they're figuring out a way to get the physical.
100%.
So, wow, very Conor heavy predictions in the chat. 55% off of 32 votes. The biggest thing to me, Nick, as we sit here and look at Bruce Buffer announcing is Conor has, and he has a way with words. He's come out and he's convinced us that he's locked in, that he's put in the work, that he's really coming back, that he wants to show everybody how good he still truly is. And it's hard not to believe the guy, but I wonder how much of that is like him telling the truth and how much of it is we as fans just want to see one more short little Conor McGregor run, right?
Or we don't want the ride to end, right?
Because if he loses tonight, if Conor McGregor, if this fight starts and Conor looks like he's got absolutely no business in there with Max Holloway and he gets finished, the Conor McGregor ride is kind of over.
Right. He's got one left on his contract, and they'll give him
the
somebody at once.
Protez or something like that, get smoked, and
Maybe Shavkat.
Yeah, exactly. The UFC will be looking to, if he wins, they're going to give him whatever the hell he wants. If he loses, they're going to build some just nightmare star of tomorrow off of him. Whether it's like, you ever heard of a guy named Yaroslav Amosov? Here you go. We're fast tracking that guy to Islam. But I mean, just kidding, but seriously, it would be a bad matchup.
Here's Quill and Saul killed. Chew on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that place looks electric.
Yeah, it really does. Look at that. All right. Gaethje is the man. Yes, he is. If he wins, is he calling out Islam? Yes, either Islam or Gaethje. Yep. Justin's in the crowd. He said he was flying there to drum up something with the winner.
And I think he wants his lick back on Max, but would love red panty night. So win-win for Justin Gaethje, who deserves it.
Looks like Conor might be a little light on his feet tonight, which is exactly what we wanted to see.
Hey, he looks like he's filled the frame out well. He doesn't look like he's blown up weighing in at 168. He looks strong.
The one, the only. Bruce Buffer really only reserves that for very, very few people.
Yeah. I think the one and only Conor McGregor sounds good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Time for the face-off.
We are going to put the 5-minute time clock on. If you want to know where we are in the fight, you'll know. Let's lock in. I will look at the chat in between rounds, but we are going to get locked and loaded.
Does Conor have a trick up his sleeve for the very beginning of the fight?
Last chance to get your vote in. I'm ending it right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. I don't want any skewed poll there in case somebody comes out and just starts mollywopping. Locked in at 57% for Conor McGregor. Ladies and gentlemen, we are underway. Conor McGregor, big jumping kick out of the gate, falls to the ground again. Okay.
All right, now
Conor's now fallen twice. Max Holloway on top. We don't know, was that a slip or was it some kind of injury? That was odd. Max Holloway trying to make the most of it. Conor with an up kick.
Not exactly the way we thought this would go to start the fight.
Let's see.
Maybe stop throwing so many kicks.
Yeah, stop throwing the high kick and kind of settle in.
And what is it?
Conor's got something wrong with his leg. There's something wrong with his leg again. Oh, man, this is a bummer. Just make him stand up, Max. This fight's...
I think his leg is broken again.
Oh, you're joking me. That would be the worst stint of bad luck of all time. Just make him stand up.
He's checking his leg. It doesn't... Oh, no.
He can't, yeah.
Max is such a...
He can't fight. It's over.
Come on.
Man. What a letdown.
What
a bummer.
Hell?
Man.
Well,
what a bummer.
I guess that might be the end of it.
Man.
Max showed class for real.
Did Conor tear something in his leg with that first kick?
It could have been exactly what happened.
Conor's just got some jacked up legs, man.
Yeah. Was it the same leg that has the steel rod in it?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, he can't stand.
Is his right leg?
But it's not. If you think about where his where his leg broke, it was midway down his shin bone, right?
Yeah, that's one way to win.
It looks like Conor's grabbing at the outside of his knee. Sorry, yeah. That's not the same place.
Man, that's got to suck because he did feel like he was ready to go for this.
Okay.
Yep, towards ACL.
Oh, man.
Stupid decision. Man, what was he thinking?
Yeah.
He
threw it again. Yeah.
Yep, that's the inside of the knee. I've had the exact same injury. I guarantee you his ACL is torn.
That's the end of Conor's career.
Yeah, I mean, is the UFC really going to want to pay him $30-40 million in April to do this again?
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. I was hoping to at least see something, but yeah, that's it. Beltran, he did the right thing. Conor can't fight. You got to call it.
What an anticlimactic.
That was, yeah. Well, it happened, I guess. Yeah. What a bummer. What a
Max
bummer.
showed real class.
Yeah.
Not just beating him up. Even when he was on the ground, he's like, "Are you okay? Like, do you want me to keep hitting you?"
Man. Guys, we got 101 in the chat. Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to hear what both guys have to say, and then we're going to cut the live, and then give us about 10 minutes and make sure you come back. We're going to give our immediate thoughts and recap, but that'll be a separate video, so you won't have to go 2+ hours into this video to find our recap, and then tomorrow we'll have the full edited version of that. So plenty of grace for Conor. Yeah, Max, somebody said creepy toad, can't steroids weaken your ligaments? I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question, but you would think
it can. Yes, they. So what they do, what steroids and even testosterone, exogenous testosterone can do is, instead of having clean looking ligaments, it can turn into a very messy, debris filled area, because the muscles grow and the ligaments don't quite grow the same way with testosterone or performance enhancers. So, obviously he was out of the testing pool. He could have been using things that aren't allowed.
Oh, for sure he was, but that was recovery. But
it doesn't change what you do when you're doing that, right?
Right.
That's why we see Ronnie Coleman and the bodybuilders that can't walk, right?
Look at Max's son, as tall as Conor now.
Yeah.
I remember when Rush was like, up to Max's
tiny little
hip.
guy.
It's so cool.
Man, and Max is a warrior. He wanted a fight. He really did want a full fight. That doesn't exactly get Justin Gaethje clamoring to get his get back, right? It's like, what do we do now? Call Arman Tsarukyan to fight Justin Gaethje? Justin Gaethje might go, all right, screw it, I'm retired.
Let's see what Max says. I mean, Gaethje's there. He said he wanted to come there to make the best of it.
Let's see what Conor says. Oh, look. When he takes his shoes off, he stumbles a little bit. Let's see if something happened here. I think
You think this is a pre-existing injury?
I do. I think there could be Conor. Oh, man. They're not going to lean into the speculation of a pre-existing injury, but they said it could be John Anik.
It could be what?
A pre-existing injury, but they're not going to talk about the conspiracy.
Let's hear what they have to say. Guys, we're going to hear what they both have to say, and then we're going to cut, and then we're going to go live again in about 10 minutes. TKO Max Holloway, round 1. Official, as it will go down in the record books.
Leaving. I'd like to talk to him, unfortunately. Hey guys, let's give it up for Conor McGregor, guys. What an absolute animal. When we was in here, he kept trying to say, I was trying to call the fight, and he kept asking to fight off.
Hopefully.
But you guys are lucky.
Max said, let's give it up for Conor, and it was a roaring boo.
Let's get this fucking money, boys. I understand you'd like to see a rematch. Look, the fight never really had a chance to get going.
Max would like a rematch, but Conor's probably going to have knee surgery.
Yep.
And it looks like he landed funny on his right knee and blew it out immediately. Let's take a look at it. So this is the beginning of the fight. He charges towards you, leaps.
That was just a really dumb decision by Conor to start the fight like that.
Position it's in, bam. Blows out right there. What can I say? I had him weak in the knees, I guess.
He had Conor weak in the knees.
That's funny.
A crazy move to start the fight with, and very unfortunate. And you noticed it immediately that there was something wrong, and you were telling the referee he can't fight. And you see it pop out there. Yeah, I was calling him right now. So.
Wow.
I'm gonna sit down, Hunter. Sit down to UFC.
Man, not what we wanted out of the Conor McGregor return after 5 years.
Well, it
Rajesh, thank you so much, my friend. Nice. Now we could get Max versus Patty and Armand versus Gaethje, or Max versus Gaethje and Armand versus Patty. Real fights rather than these gimmicks. Yeah.
Patty versus Ilya. I like that.
Yeah, I
And
like
Max
Patty Ilya.
versus Justin rematch, or Armin versus Justin.
Yeah.
Or if Justin says, you know what, I'm good. If Conor McGregor's out of the sights, maybe he retires and they do Max versus Armin Sarukian. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate.
Little bit anticlimactic, wasn't it?
Yeah. Man, that sucks so bad. It really felt like Conor mentally was in the right place to come back.
Yeah.
And it looked, he looked healthy. We don't know how his knee was operating. He's never been the kind to pull out of fights. He pulled out of the one with the broken toe. You would think if he had a tear in his knee, he would pull out. But, when there's $40 million on the line, all you got to do is show up.
Yeah.
Took no damage.
What a bummer. And Rajesh, thank you again so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that. Very solid matchmaking. Guys, we are going to cut the live stream now and then give us about 10 minutes to reconfigure the room, and we'll go live and give our immediate thoughts and recap.
Thanks
so much,
much.
and we'll see you in just a second.
Peace.